Raider legend Dale Davis. They light the symbolic torch in the honor today. The great bump and run corner that made Al so proud, number 24, Willie Brown, had that honor. Dennis Allen getting set to coach the Raiders in this third and most important preseason game, most like a dress rehearsal today, as starters will play the entire first half, and almost all of them will come back in the second half, with the exception of Darren McFadden, who will play only the first half. And Coach Flores, they got a good challenge today against Jim Schwartz's Detroit Lions, 10-6 a year ago when he took this team over. They were 0-16, and they are very solid on both sides of the football.
He's done a nice job. They've done a good job in drafting, and their number ones have come through for them in the last few years, so that's very impressive. Their offensive line is a pretty seasoned offensive line. 2 number 1 draft choices of both tackles, and the center is a second-round draft choice. So it's a veteran line, very responsible for protecting that quarterback, and as we know, the quarterback must be protected.
And for the Raiders, Jim, the mandate today is twofold. You got your first cut down coming up on Monday. They'll trim from 90 to 75. And also 2 weeks and 2 days from tonight, they open the season against the San Diego Chargers. So you got to pick your 53 to be sure, but you also got to get your starting 22 ready to play football.
Oh, you certainly do. And I think, it's imperative that, the Raiders get off to a good start on both sides of the football. Offensively, I think they've struggled a little bit, although they did look very sharp in that first drive against Dallas in the opening preseason game. I think last week they didn't play very well, and they certainly looked the part of not being all in sync against the Arizona Cardinals last week.
Mike Goodson is amped up. His first time playing here in black in the O.Co Coliseum. Made his Raider debut last Friday in Arizona. Jason Hansen, 42 years of age. He will back up 17 yards behind the football, and then wide he goes to take a running start. Tywan Jones will return this opening kickoff. We are underway from the O.Co Coliseum. Hope you enjoy it. Hansen will hit this one short. It'll be taken by Goodson, the up man, 10, 15, 20, and he's dropped on the 21-yard line, where Carson Palmer and the Raider offense will go first down and 10. So Carson Palmer, coach, will play the entire first half, looking to improve on those numbers. He has yet to get the Raiders' first-team offense into the end zone this preseason.
Well, he doesn't have to hurry. He doesn't have to push. He can just execute the game plan as it's relayed to him from the sideline, because he knows he's going to be in the whole first half and come back and with at least the first series in the second half.
First and 10 Raiders, moving from left to right on a radio and TV simulcast from north to south. They empty the backfield of the first play, flexing out Darren McFadden, and he's picked up by the rookie corner Bill Bentley. Palmer cocks the throw, does not throw, and Ndamukong Suh will sack him right away. That was supposed to be a quick one, and it was not there. So Carson Palmer will take the sack. They emptied the backfield. Both Marcel Reese and Darren McFadden went out. That's your halfback-fullback combination with the injuries to Ford and Moore. Rod Streeter will make the start today. The offensive line, a good challenge against this great defensive line of the Detroit Lions. Jared Valdir, Cooper Carlisle, Alex Parsons for the injured Stephen Wisniewski, with Mike Breisel at right guard and Khalif Barnes at right tackle. They run McFadden wide right, breaks a tackle and runs through the tackle of John Wendling to pick up the Raider first down. A 13-yard run on 2nd and 13 as Darren McFadden got wide that time, Jim.
Yes, he did. It was designed to go inside a little bit, inside the tackle on the left side. He breaks it to the outside. A good block by Marcel Reese right there, and that's what they want out of Marcel Reese, a little bit better blocking. We know he can catch and get out of the backfield, but they want him to be a better blocker for Darren McFadden.
Nice kick-out block there by the fullback Marcel Reese, and Brandon Myers, Tom, also a good seal block as he makes his debut this preseason. He had missed the first 2 games with a shoulder injury. Here's Myers moving in motion left to right. First and 10 Raiders. They blitz Wendling, and Darren McFadden runs into a wall. That defensive front there for the Detroit Lions. That was Stephen Tulloch, their middle linebacker there. Line, arguably the best in football, but the Raiders think they have the best. Cliff Averill, Lawrence Jackson are the ends. Averill, one of the best in football, and of course Ndamukong Suh and Corey Williams inside. Stephen Tulloch, who made that last tackle, the middle linebacker with Justin Duran and DeAndre Levy. The corners, Bill Bentley will make the start, along with Chris Houston. In the defensive secondary, they have a couple of fill-ins because of injury, Eric Coleman and John Wendling. Here's Carson Palmer, a play action, throwing out left, wide open, Rod Streeter. First down Raiders out to midfield. He got lost in the linebacking corner. They tried to match him up, Tom, with DeAndre Levy. the outside linebacker, and Streeter ran away there and picked up a first down, gaining 17.
A nice route and a nice call. He goes in a little motion across the backfield, then he comes back. He ends up in the slot, and he just runs a little shallow corner, more like an out route behind that first wave of the defensive backs.
Raiders on the move here. They have picked up 2 first downs. They got up on the line and then backed away. Now they'll reset the play clock as they've reached their 48-yard line. Carson Palmer in that huddle a long time now. Eddie McGee will come in here, a big wide receiver. They were in a bunch formation. McGee, Myers, and Reese all together, singling up Streeter on the backside. Nice catch on the slant as he beat the. Then he lost the ball going to the ground. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. And he has a first down into Lion territory. They bunched right coach and singled up Streeter left on the backside, and he beat the rookie Bentley for a gain of 13 yards.
I think this is going to be challenged because the Raiders are getting up there real quick, and I think it's going to be challenged because he didn't hold on to that ball. At least it didn't look like it from here all the way down and through the, well, they got an injured guy, but all the way down and through the tackle and into the ground. So that the rule says you got to hold on and possess it all the way through.
Yeah, Jim Schwartz with this injury, and I hope it's on the up and up, Jim. They're getting a little extra time to take out a replay or two. As Streeter made the catch, juggled it to his thigh, pulled it down, and then lost the ball.
But Jim Schwartz had already thrown out the red flag even before the injury occurred, I believe.
All right. Let the Schwartz be with you. Jim Schwartz has turned this program around in Detroit, took over an 0-16 team, made the playoffs a year ago. I'm not sure if Streeter caught that or not. Was it a catch, fumble, or no catch? That'll be decided when we come back to Oakland. 2.5 gone to the first quarter, 0-0 on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. From under the hood, I wonder who he voted for, Democrat or Republican, boys. This is an election year.
Tea Party.
Tea Party?
Yeah.
So Rowan, who is a replacement referee, talking to the umpire here. If the Streeter catch stands, it'll be 1st and 10 at Raiders on the Detroit 39-yard line. If not, it'll be 2nd and 10 Raiders back on the 48, their own 48, and I think they're going to overturn this. And
the ruling on the field has been confirmed. We had a completed pass.
Oh, wow. They did.
Down by contact. It'll be first down Oakland. Detroit will be charged their first team timeout.
You should have listened to Plunkett. You thought that all the while.
Hey, I think they're doing the right thing. It looked like a catch to me. He had control, hit the ground, and he went down, and then the ball came loose. So I think it was a good call.
Can I get the Lewis Murphy touchdown against San Diego back on the season opener, Beth? If that's a catch, then Murphy's one is a catch as well. They're going to flip it end around here to Darius Hayward-Bay, led by Marcel Reese. Cut inside and right into the tackler. I think Reese wanted him to go outside, but he went inside, and he got blown up there by John Wendling coming downhill after a gain of only 5 yards.
Well, only 5 yards isn't bad, though.
On first down, that's pretty good.
First down, that's pretty good.
I thought he was going to get more on that play.
Well, there's somebody, I'm not sure who it was, that came up like a lightning shot from the secondary and made a great tackle.
John Wendling, who was a terrific. Wow. And there's Coleman, the other safety. They're both great gunners on special teams. Wendling, he's playing well as a safety. 2nd and 5 Raiders. Hayward-Bay goes in motion. No one follows. So and they be playing zone. Stretch handoff to McFadden coming left, stacked up, and no gain there. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Shane Leckler is back today, not only to punt the football, but he will also be holding for Sebastian Janikowski. We are in the dirt baseball infield here in late August, so I wonder if the Raiders will try a long field goal here, or what they will do if they don't convert here on 3rd down. There's Shane, who will punt. He said all the punts today, and hopefully they're not many. Raiders want more touchdowns, but he's going to punt today. He's a bit rusty after having the arthroscopic knee surgery 2 days into camp. 3rd and 6 Raiders. Eddie McGee is in again. He singled up left. They're showing a couple of blitzing linebackers. They both come. The Raiders wall it off. Catch Hayward-Bay. First down Raiders as he beat Chris Houston, the veteran safety, on the crossing route, converting on 3rd and 6. He picks up 14.
Really a nice job, Greg, in picking up that blitz. The Lions came with 2 guys right up the middle, and they picked it up. McFadden stepped right up and got the blitzer. Excellent job.
It was well done, and there's no way a safety is going to be able to keep up with Darius Hayward-Bay on a crossing route.
So Hayward-Bay converts with a 14-yard gain, and Carson Palmer, Jim, is off to a good start. He has hit his first 3 today.
Oh, yes, he is. He's really on target early in this ballgame.
There's a late blitz. Palmer throws left. Slipping to the ground was Eddie McGee. Crowd wanted a flag there on the cut, but no call on Jacob Lacey, the nickel corners. He matched up with the big Eddie McGee. He's a good-sized wide receiver.
Yeah, they got what they wanted. They got man-to-man on the backside. The other receivers are on the right side. Protection was good. It was just the receiver slipped and didn't have a chance to even try for the ball.
10th play of this Raider drive. Rod Streeter goes wide left, and they run a slot to the right. Hayward Bay inside of the tight end Myers, who was flexed out. Myers comes in a short motion. Now he's inside of Hayward Bay. Stretch one coming left, and McFadden, big hole, and he bangs down inside the line 15 out of the 14-yard line. Dropped by Tulloch, the middle linebacker. Nice run there by Darren McFadden, keeping it play side, Tom, for a gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, and Khalif Barnes was down on the ground after one, but he's back up now and walking around. I thought for a moment there he'd gotten hurt. That would not be good.
Interesting matchup today. The Raiders outside zone scheme up against the wide 9 defensive front. These tackles. Look where Lawrence Jackson is, number 94, on the TV side of our simulcast, how wide he is, and Jared Valdir was able to kick him out there in the stretch run. 3rd down and 3. Streeter comes in motion. There's a blitz, a flag, and that's a false start, I believe, on the Raiders. And creeping up and showing blitz calls the false start.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
And you know what they say, you have to hold your water. You can't be fooled into making a mistake like that, even though those guys are cheating up and ready to come on a blitz. You got to hang in there tough.
It's on Mike Brizell, the free agent signing away from the Houston Texans. Raiders bring back almost the whole offensive line, but the one major change is bringing in Mike Brizell, Tom, who has a good matchup today with the great Ndamukong Suh. He will probably block him most of the day.
You think that had something to do with the movement before the snap?
You don't want to get stomped by that guy. Taiwan Jones is in. They empty out McFadden, 3rd and 8. Taiwan Jones, they fake the inside handoff, the bubble screen to McFadden, breaks the tackle and dives down just shy of the 1st down. Clever play. They went to the 2 speed guys, McFadden and Taiwan Jones together, isolated McFadden at Jim like a wide receiver and ran the bubble screen to him.
Yeah, he's just as good out there in isolation, wide of the interior lineman. There's so much he can do with the football once he gets it out there in space.
Crowd always wants you to go for it, especially in a preseason game, but they do want to put the points on the board. Plus, they've got to get this trio together. First time we're going to see John Kondo snap to Shane Leckler as a holder, and then Janikowski time. They got to get this working.
Yep, they got to get it working. They got a big season ahead.
They were all Pro Bowlers a year ago. Kondo, Leckler, Janikowski, and it is no good. It is wide to the left on a very short 30-yard field goal. The snap was good, the hold looked good, and Janikowski just missed it wide left. Jano did make 3 field goals in the first half 8 days ago in Glendale, Arizona. Raiders drive well, 67 yards, but do not score. Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson go next on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Against the Chargers. We've been telling you all preseason about the new security procedures. We'll have more on that. But if you do get here early, look at this. An hour before kickoff, you're eligible to win some really cool prizes, including field passes, a locker room tour, memorabilia autographed by Hall of Famers, Raider legends, and current players, and the latest in merchandise. So get here early for the Monday Nighter against the Chargers. There are going to be scanning procedures here and in every NFL stadium this year. So get here early for San Diego. Stafford, play action, and throws out left to Nate Burleson, tackled immediately by Michael Huff, Giordano, McLean, Philip Wheeler. About 4 Raiders got a piece of the stubborn Nate Burleson. Matthew Stafford, Tom, had a tremendous season last year, throwing for over 5,000 yards and 41 touchdown passes.
Yeah, he did. He just had a great year. Finally, and he was, before that, he was rewarded with Comeback Player of the Year, which is a nice award to have.
Well, he's been hurt his first couple of years in the NFL. He couldn't stay healthy. Here's a handoff in the back for the flag goes down. That was Michael LeSure's first run in the NFL, and it won't count because of a false start called on the Detroit Lions. Again, replacement referee Ken Rowan is our ref today. And the Lions, they're saying against the Raiders possibly. Matthew Stafford is.
Defense, number 58, lined up in the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
It's on Dave Tollefson. He lined up as a defensive end as we check out the Lions around Matthew Stafford. Calvin Johnson, the best wide receiver in the game. Kevin Smith will share carries to start with Michael LeSure. Their offensive line, Jeff Backus, Rob Sims, Dominic Raiola, Stephen Peterman, and Goster Sherilis is the right tackle. So it is first down now for the Lions, 1st and 10. They did blow that dead, even though it was against the defense. Inside handoff to LeSure's first ever run as a Detroit Lion. And the Raiders swarm it, led by their defensive front, and middle linebacker Rolando McClain was also there. Richard Seymour will not play today, so Desmond Bryant will start in the defensive line rotation with Tommy Kelly, the ends of Lamar Houston, and Matt Shaughnessy. McClain, the tackler a moment ago, flanked by Miles Burris and Philip Wheeler, your linebackers. Good challenge today for the new Raider corners, Ron Bartell and Shante Spencer, with Michael Huff and Tyvon Branch in the deep secondary. Tommy Kelly ready to go. On 2nd down and 10, 3 receivers in for the Lions. Stafford, a bubble screen to Burleson, cuts inside, but not away from Tyvon Branch. Great open field tackle by the Raiders' leading tackler a year ago, Tom, the very underrated Tyvon Branch.
I think he's a great player. I really do. I think he's a 5-year veteran, and he plays so well. He's very smart. He's a leader back there. That time he just outmaneuvered the defensive lineman who was down there trying to block him and made a great tackle in open field.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he leads this Raider team in tackles the last couple of years.
He was an alternate last year for the Pro Bowl, but he really is one of the best safeties in football and a great gunner on special teams. 3rd down and 4 Lions. Stafford out of the shotgun. 4-man pressure throw over the middle, and a first down to the tight end, Tony Scheffler, the former Denver Bronco. He got matched up with Matt Shaughnessy there, the lineman, in a zone blitz, dropped back into coverage, Coach.
Well, actually, it was Tollefson, I think, that had to cover him. And it's interesting, the Raiders have him in defensive end, and they've got Houston as a defensive tackle on this defensive series.
You're right. It was Dave Tollefson who dropped back, the former Giant, and Shaughnessy came over from the other side. 1st and 10 Lions. They were the 4th highest scoring team in pro football a year ago, almost 30 points a game. Stafford out of the gun will check down to Michael LeSure, throws behind him, but he adjusted to make the catch down the sideline and tackled by Philip Wheeler after a short gain. Michael LeSure was a 2nd-round draft pick out of Illinois, and he has never played before today. Tore his Achilles tendon in training camp last year, missed the whole year, and then had a hamstring on their 2nd day of camp this year. So they are watching very closely in Detroit City today to see LeSure's first pro game.
And I tell you, just watching Matthew Stafford play quarterback as we did a year ago here when they came from behind to beat the Raiders, and he just looks so calm and confident out there running that football team.
He hit on 64% of his passes a year ago, and he's hit on his first 4 today. 2nd and 4, counter handoff to LeSure, coming wide, cuts back inside, flag came down. That'll be a hold on the Lions. It was thrown by the referee himself, as Philip Wheeler, the active Raider linebacker, made the tackle.
Number 77, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Goster Sherilis, the right tackle out of Boston College, the former round 1 draft pick, was guilty on the hold there. The Raiders, you all know, the most penalized team in pro football, but the Lions ranked number 4 overall, Tom. They want to clean that up. They had 147 penalties last year, but still went 10-6 and made the playoffs.
Yeah, they did, and they, obviously, and then they had their star defensive lineman was suspended for 2 games for a penalty.
For a stop on Thanksgiving Day, the Sioux stop it was called. Flags down, Stafford a free ball will overthrow the big tight end, Brandon Pettigrew. He had him wide open and missed him. A flag came at the snap of the football. We would assume it'd be against the defense since they didn't stop the play with a false start. Are the Raiders guilty of lining up or jumping off sides again?
Offsides, defense. Number 77, line up in the neutral, don't snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Matt Shaughnessy. That's one of the things, Tom, when you have the real officials, sometimes they will tell you in a preseason game, hey, 77, you're offsides.
Yeah.
Jump back onsides.
Yeah,
With these guys trying to figure out the pro game, you're not going to get help from the officials. They're just going to flag you.
Well, those are the things that the coaching staff wanted to eliminate. Those are just nagging little penalties. A 5-yard offsides and negate a down. Now they get the down over.
You just got to keep your helmet on side, not up against the line. Here's Stafford, caught by Scheffler. First down, banged out by Tyvon Branch. Well, the Denver Broncos had a good one, and Tony Scheffler, they curiously let him go as he ran into it with Josh McDaniels, Jim, and he was traded, but Scheffler was a tremendous pass-catching tight end.
He certainly is, and get down the field, not just short routes, but he's, just like he just showed on that pass route, like a deep out for a tight end, sure hands, and able to run after the catch.
Good challenge for Ty Branch today, and Michael Huff matching up with Scheffler and Brandon Pettigrew, who caught 83 passes a year ago. End around to Burleson, a block on Bartell down the sideline. And Burleson on the end around is pushed out on the Raider 30-yard line by Matt Giordano. Giordano playing more deep safety today, came over to save what could have been a big play on the end around.
Yeah, and their Lions are going without a huddle. At least right now they are.
And it's something they do periodically. Stafford jumps into a no huddle now with Michael LaSure to his right. Calvin Johnson has been quiet so far today. He's out wide left on second down. They throw and a catch, and that's Pettigrew, the tight end, right at the sticks. Tyvon Branch, the first to hit him. And see if he got the Detroit Lion first down. Yes, he did. At the Raider 26-yard line.
That's a load to try to bring down in a 265-pound Pettigrew. Wow.
Well, they got a couple of good tight ends. Then you have Calvin Johnson, who's as big as a tight end at 6'5", 236 pounds. Matthew Stafford clearly has some great weapons. So a good challenge for Jason Tarver today, the young Raider defensive coordinator, getting a good look. This is very similar in style to the way San Diego plays with Gates, the way they use their tight ends. LaSure jumped over the tackle of Lamar Houston. Lamar was going to stuff that for no gain, and LaSure cutting quickly, Jim, able to jump cut there and pick up a decent gain there.
Yeah, he certainly did. Lamar Houston got penetration, got in the backfield, just wasn't able to make the tackle on LaSure.
Lamar is playing lighter, and he is quicker. 2nd and 6, LaSure got 4. Stafford is audibilizing at the line. Plenty of time, play clock at 15. He has a slot left. They run LaSure off the right side, cuts back left. Tolofsen was sitting there in the backside hole, and he pushed that back in for no gain. Also, Lamar Houston in on the play for the Raiders.
Yeah, good job by Tolson. I'm sorry, Jim, because he kept leverage on the outside, and that's what that outside defensive player, whether it's a backer or whether it's a defensive end, you have to keep that leverage. Don't let the guy be able to bounce to the outside.
Exactly what I was going to say, though. Good, good leverage on the backside, as you mentioned, not allowing that cutback.
Tolofsen, a good player, grew up in the Bay Area. Ignacio Valley High School, was a Raider on the practice squad, and the Giants grabbed him away, and he won a couple of Super Bowls there. 11th play of the drive for Stafford and the Lions. 3rd and 7 on the Raider 23. Stafford back, throws, ball batted down by Tolofsen. That's once again the defensive lineman who was wearing kind of a linebacker number at 58 time, dropping into the linebacking core to knock that one down.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't go to their big guy, to Johnson on the right side, because he was man-to-man that time. He had man-to-man tight coverage with Bartell. That was a pretty good challenge over there.
So here's Jason Hansen trying a 41-yard field goal. And they got a little fortune in the spot here. We'll be on the grass from the right hash mark. Hansen, the all-time leading scorer in Lion history, over 2,000 points and very accurate, 82% throughout his career. Muehlbach the snap, and the hold is good. And Jason Hansen from 41 yards out knocks down the field goal, and the Lions take a 3-0 lead. 1:51 to go in the opening quarter. Detroit 3, Raiders nothing on the Oakland Raiders.
Broadcasting Network, Raiders trail 3-0. I talked to defensive coordinator Jason Tarver before the game. He said this is the matchup that they wanted. Detroit could do so much, especially with no huddle. We saw that. And the scheme at tight end, Greg, it'll be very similar to what we see with the Chargers on Monday night. And Tarver also said similar to Miami.
Tom, and stylistically, the way they use Pettigrew and Scheffler, similar to the way Norv Turner uses Gates.
Yeah, the only difference is they have all tight ends. They don't have any fullbacks.
Not a fullback on the roster. Is that amazing? Here's the kickoff. 8 yards deep. Tywan Jones coming out though. 5-10, starting wide right, up against the sideline, cut back. They're trying to get some work on the kickoff returns, Tom, but in the regular season, 8 yards deep in the end zone, you're taking a knee there.
Yeah, I think so. I would hope so. I would hope so. You're wasting a lot of time.
All right, Raiders will start inside the 20 for Carson Palmer in the offense, down 3-0 with 1:44 to go in the first quarter on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Home preseason game here against the Lions. 2 weeks and 2 days from tonight. It opens for real in Beta Oaktown to watch the Raiders play. 9th birthday party. Yes, welcome to Oakland. on opening night when the season starts against the San Diego Chargers on September the 10th. First and 10, Raiders on their own 13, down 3-0. Carson Palmer in the shotgun, an empty set, 5 on the line. Palmer throws out left, catch. Rod Streeter, first down, out to the 25-yard line, working on the nickelback, Jacob Lacey. They are obviously targeting Rod Streeter today, Tom.
Yeah, he's running some nice routes and catching the ball very well.
Yeah, you got to feel good about the guy. Unsigned free agent. Came into this camp, nowhere on the depth chart, and all of a sudden he's been the star of the preseason.
He's already got 16 catches, 2 games and a quarter in his preseason career. He had 19 the whole year, his final year at Temple. Nice blitz picked up by McFadden. The throw out left is wide. But Darren McFadden, he is pro football's best running back to be sure, Tom, but he blasted the blitzing linebacker there and lifted him right off the ground.
Yeah, he sure did. And that ball was kind of high. I mean, it kind of fluttered a little bit, hung up there a little bit. I'm not sure if Carson was comfortable throwing that ball.
Well, I think he just had some pressure. He had to get rid of it soon, so he anticipated where Darren McFadden was going to be, and he was a little off.
Second down and 10, Raiders on their 25. Marcel Reese, the fullback, empties out left. They give it to McFadden, and another pre-snap penalty on the Raiders here for, I believe, a false start. That'll be their 4th penalty of the first 14 minutes of play. And Ken Rowan, our referee.
On the offense, number 65, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Called on Mike Bricel again, the new right guard. The Raiders will drop back now. It'll be 2nd and 15. Raiders playing without their starting center again tonight. Stefan Wisniewski missing for a 2nd straight game with a calf injury, so Alex Parsons out of USC is snapping the ball to Carson Palmer. Trojan to Trojan, throw out left, catch made by Brandon Myers, the tight end. Hit by Jacob Lacey there and the linebacker DeAndre Levy. First catch of the preseason for Brandon Myers. Coach hurt his shoulder back on August the 10th in Napa and missed a couple of weeks.
Well, he needs some work. He needs the work, and it was nice to see him get back in the action here, because you have to go through that initial first game getting banged up and waking up the next morning feeling not too good.
This could be the final play of the opening quarter. 3rd and 8 Raiders on their 27. 3 receivers in, including Eddie McGee. Throw left too high. It will not be the final play. We'll get a punt in here as he overthrew Brandon Myers right at the sticks there, matched up with the middle backer Tulloch. He was pretty well covered, and Palmer threw it high. So we'll see Shane Leckler. Again, Shane had arthroscopic knee surgery 2 days into training camp. It's on his left leg, his plant leg, and he said he was rusty in Napa. So let's see if he gives us the usual Lecklerian blast here. Here's the punt by Leckler. A little bit shorter. Titus Young at a Boise State will step up. And did he call for a fair catch? Apparently he did on the 32-yard line. Not bad. Shane's not happy with a 41-yarder, but just kind of loosening up and getting the cobwebs out. No return, so a net of 41. Stafford and the Lions get it when we come back again. They're up 3-0 late first quarter on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Shape construction. They don't cut into you like jeans with a V pattern. Room where you need it. Comfort where it counts. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Football's fabulous. Females entertaining here at the O.co Coliseum on this Saturday evening. Raiders down 3-0 with 21 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Wheeler and Tyvon Branch look like they may blitz off of Stafford's right. LaSure is to his left in the gun. Inside handoff to Michael LaSure. And he'll pick up 2 yards on the final play of the first quarter. Lamar Houston, Tom, has had a good preseason. Looks lighter, and he was in on that tackle again.
Yeah, he looks lighter, but now he's back at his familiar defensive end spot. But earlier he was playing on one of the tackle locations, and for as light as he is, he was creating some havoc in the middle.
Raiders outgained the Lions in that opening quarter, 91-58, which will make Coach Allen happy, but they are down 3-0 after 15 minutes of play. Carson Palmer goes back to work, and Stafford as well in the second quarter on the Raiders Broadcasting Network.
But if we get the W and I do get a couple sacks, I'll be happy. If we get a W and I don't get a couple sacks, I'll be happy. So, really it's just about being dominant and winning for me.
Lamar Houston had 5 quarterback sacks his rookie year, only 1 last year. And he's playing well here, 8-8 as a pro his first 2 years in the NFL. First play of the second quarter, 2nd and 9 Lions. Stafford, a quick one out to Nate Burleson. Michael Huff will come screaming towards the sideline, but Burleson stays in bounds and shreds that tackle long enough to pick up a Lion first down out to their 43-yard line.
You know, I think one of the keys to that play was Calvin Johnson blocking on the perimeter, keeping that cornerback from coming up and making a tackle.
Yeah, and that was that whole play was set up by the Raiders' defense playing so loose. They're giving a lot of space out there on both sides and with the safeties.
With 1 quarter down, it's time for our Geico 15-minute review. It's easy to save 15% or more on car insurance with Geico. Go to geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. The only hard part, figuring out which way is easier. Which way is Michael LeSure going to go here? Supposed to go off left tackle. Wasn't there. Bounced wide. And the Raiders were able to push that into the offensive backfield led by Philip Wheeler. The numbers in our Geico 15-minute review, guys, the Raiders actually outgained the Lions in that first quarter, 91 yards to 58 yards.
Yeah, it's all about finishing now, getting in the end zone and putting up points on the board.
Well, Janikowski missed a very short field goal of 30 yards out, and Jason Hansen made his from 41 yards out. Two of Pro Football's best kickers. 2nd and 13 Lions. Stafford out of the gun, looking right, throwing, caught by Pettigrew, and dragged down from behind by Philip Wheeler, who's made a lot of tackles here. Pettigrew, a tremendous young tight end, out to midfield. Well, that'll bring up a 3rd down.
That was a nice shot by Stafford. He was covered pretty good. Wheeler had him covered pretty good. Pettigrew pretty well, and the ball was thrown perfectly, and he reached out with those big hands and made the catch.
Well, good chest here for the Raider defense. So they're going to throw the ball to Calvin Johnson at all this afternoon? So far they have not. He goes left slot. Michael Huff will pick him up, and he will press him in the slot. Big Calvin Johnson on 3rd down. There's a play action. Stafford rolls and throws, and it's incomplete to Titus Young. Well covered there by Shawnte Spencer on the crossing route. Well, the Raiders force a punt as they put some heat on Matthew Stafford there, Jim, on 3rd down.
Yeah, they came on a blitz, came very hard. There's number 58.
Dave Tollefson.
Yeah, putting pressure on Stafford. He had to throw it quickly, and he threw it inaccurately. That's what pressure does to the quarterback.
So the Raiders will get the ball. Brian McCann is back to return the punts today. Denarius Moore unable to play with that hamstring injury. No Jacoby Ford as well with the foot injury. There's a pre-snap penalty, a false start on the Lions. There are a lot of pre-snap penalties on both sides today. Jim Schwartz not happy with that. Again, his team was number 4 in the NFL in total penalties a year ago with 147. They have an interesting punting battle going on in training camp. This is Ben Graham, the Thunder from down under, the former Aussie Rules football star. He is a left-footed punter, so adept at that pointed down end-over-end Aussie Rules style. He'll use that here to Brian McCann. He'll step up and take it on the 16-yard line up against the boundary, and he is surrounded there. Nicely done by the Lions coverage team. Richard Langford, a backup safety, got down as a gunner to hold McCann to no return after a 40-yard punt by Graham. Carson Palmer, the Raiders offense, will take over for a 3rd time when we come back. 3-0 Lions on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Football is as legit as fantasy gets. Enjoy free live scoring and instant video highlights. Go legit. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Darren McFadden will be an early choice on a lot of the fantasy football leagues around the nation. Right now, it is Taiwan Jones who was in as the I-back behind Owen Schmidt. Here's a toss sweep to Taiwan Jones. Look how fast he is. He looks like McFadden, does he? Wow, out across the 20, up to around the 24-yard line on the toss sweep there. A nice rip there by Taiwan Jones.
Yeah, and Coach Flores will say that's what fresh legs will do for you, getting out of that backfield as quick as he did.
Oh, man, he was a flash up there, Jim. Look at him. He got there in nothing flat. Boy, that was exciting.
Well, he ran a 4.37 at his pro day at Eastern Washington. He's been bothered by injuries both last year and so far this year, a hamstring injury making his preseason debut. And he's in for McFadden here. I think Darren may come back, but they're going to let him run with the ones here. Here's Palmer to Taiwan Jones off the right side. And Taiwan picks up only a yard. Dennis Allen said before the game, Coach, the backup running back competition is wide open behind Darren McFadden. So we've seen Mike Goodson. Now we're going to get a look at Taiwan Jones with the number 1s.
Yeah, and they haven't had a chance to see much of him because he's had that hamstring. Most of the early part of camp and into the first 2 preseason games he's missed entirely. So this will be a good challenge for him. It'll be a good chance for the coaches to evaluate who's that second guy.
McFadden still has his helmet on, so he and Marcel Reese are going to come back in at some point. Here's a toss sweep to Taiwan Jones coming left. He gets the edge. A flag went down. It was an offsides with the Lions, and Taiwan Jones rolls out across the 35 up to around the 37. The flag here presumably is the Lions offsides, which the Raiders will decline, take the 12-yard run.
Yeah, I think it froze some of the... Yeah, I think they knew that that play was, they felt it was dead because he jumped off sides before the snap of the ball, and I think the defense froze, and the Raiders got a kind of a free play out of it.
Yeah, you're right. They stood up. The defensive line just stood up, gave him a free shot to block him.
Stephen Tulloch was coming out of blitz from his middle backer position. He mistimed it badly, and the Raiders got a big chunk here. First and 10, 37-yard line. There's Palmer, a play action to Jones. Well blocked, he has time. He throws left, crossing route. Catch made by David Osbury, and he has a near a Raider first down at around the 47-yard line. He looked over the field that time and hit the tight end on the crossing route there.
Yeah, nice, good protection that time off a little play action pass, and the ball was just a little low, but Osbury just went down and made a nice snag with his hands. That's what you got to do.
He is the converted wide receiver at USC, Jim, and they got to figure out this tight end rotation. Brandon Myers was out for a couple of weeks with the shoulder. You got Myers, you got Richard Gordon, who was supposed to play today despite a rib injury, and then David Osbury. First and 10, Raiders on their own 47. Palmer, a straight drop, steps up, lob down the right sideline. Hayward Bay has got it inside the Lions 20. First down on the Lion 13-yard line. He went up and took it away from former Raider Justin Miller.
They certainly did. There was a little underthrown, and Hayward Bay just timed it perfectly, went over the top of the defender, came down with the football. This guy, Hayward Bay, is really improving as the years go on.
Oh, Jim, I mean, he's gotten, you know what he does that does so well? He goes after the ball so well.
And right after a big gain of 41 yards down the field, the Raiders ran up and quick snapped the Lions, jumping into a no huddle here as they get into the red zone. McFadden came in and they gave him a little outside run for 3 yards.
But here's another look at the Hayward Bay catch. Great catch over the back.
One-handed.
One-handed. How's that?
He reached around Justin Miller, the great kickoff returner, was a Raider, and made a one-hand pluck. Raiders jumping into a no-huddle here inside the red zone. Hayward Bay out wide, left, Osbury left slot, Rod Streeter right. They fake it to McFadden. Palmer now right flat. What a catch by McFadden. Did a running back catch that ball? And he's out right at the sticks. He wanted to go Streeter, Tom, in the end zone. It was taken away. So a check down right flat to McFadden, who made an unbelievable catch for a running back.
Yeah, so well done by Palmer because he made a nice fake to McFadden, and then he looked downfield. You're right, he wanted to go to Streeter on a real quick post or a slant. Wasn't there, and he came right back. McFadden, after the fake, just kept going right into the flat. He was uncovered.
Well, he has a great set of hands, Darren McFadden. That ball was fully extended away from his body. Third down and 2, Raiders on the Lion 4. Power formation out of the eye. They give it to McFadden, led by Owen Schmidt. He bangs down, should have the first down. He's shy of the goal line, but he should make it first down and goal from inside the 2-yard line. Everybody wondering about who's going to be your short yardage, who's going to be your goal line runner. Darren McFadden last year, when the Raiders town had goal-to-goals inside the 5, converted 7 out of 9 times. Yeah, he is a good goal line short yardage runner.
He could do as he did there. He can move the pile. That time he knew only needed a little bit of yardage for the first down. He just lowered his head and moved the pile.
Teron Kreiner goes in motion left to right. First and goal, 2-yard line. Fullback flat, no. Tight end back of the end zone. Flat came down. And a pass interference called on Eric Coleman, the safety, as he climbed all over Brandon Myers a beat early. And that'll make it a first and goal on the Detroit 1-yard line. Our referee again is Ken Rowan tonight.
Defensive pass interference, 24 wide in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed on the 1-yard line. First down.
And Eric Coleman did hit Brandon Myers way too early. definitely pass interference on Coleman's part.
Nice progression by the quarterback coach. He was looking for Owen Schmidt, the fullback in the flat. That was taken away, so he waited and went to his tight end.
Yeah, you got to give credit to the offensive line for the protection, allowing him to go to his secondary receiver.
First and goal, McFadden out of the eye. Osbury goes in motion right to left. They give it to McFadden off the left side. He is hit and stuck in the backfield for a loss, as there was penetration there from Sammy Hill, young defensive lineman out of Stillman, a 4th-round pick at 09. McFadden lost yards there.
Yeah, too much penetration there. There was no movement by the offensive line, and to give Darren a chance to even go downhill.
And the Raiders, Jim, had a first and goal twice in Arizona last preseason game and could not score either trip.
Yeah, and they did. And Coach Flores said something. This is the time to run your play action right now.
We're going to the tight end here, Jim. Second down, fullback flat, take it away. Palmer comes back left. Can he run forward? He's going to try, but he won't make it. He got hit. Now he's going to fight and go down to the 2-yard line. Don't get hurt, though. It's only a preseason game. Palmer had the outside taken away there by the linebacker, Ashley Palmer, backup middle linebacker. And Palmer tried to spin off that tackle and still wound up losing yardage, so technically it's a sack. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and goal. So the Raiders, Tom, they had a first and goal in Arizona on the 1, a first and goal later on the 3, and Greg Knapp could not get him in the end zone. So he's looking off that play call sheet here, seeing what he's going to do on that 3rd down and goal from the 2. It's McFadden wide right, cut back left out of the goal line. Is he in? He's right up against the goal line, and no. It'll be 4th down and goal from inside the 1. Will Dennis Allen tie the game with 3, or will he go for the lead? He's going for the lead.
Yep.
How close did McFadden come here on the left side run? He cut back. I thought he got right up against the goal line, but he was stacked up.
Now's the perfect time for a quarterback draw, in my opinion.
Who's running it?
The quarterback.
You always want the glory. You want to throw for every touchdown and run for every one. 4th down and goal, 1-yard line. They flex out Streeter left. Detroit's going to call a timeout. They did not have the right defense in the game. Gunther Cunningham, their defensive coordinator. Of course, Jim Schwartz, the D quarter in Tennessee for many years. So they will call a timeout here. 4th and goal, Raiders on the Lion 1. It's going to get fun when we come back. Lions up 3-0 for now on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. See if they can hit the north end zone here in a touchdown. 4th and goal, Raiders from the Detroit 1-yard line. Darren McFadden is in as the running back.
They got the regular formation in there. They got the 2 wide receivers tight end, so they're going to spread them out a little bit.
Malik Barnes is now playing at right tackle. They were going to tackle eligible a moment ago. They decided not to do that. Hayward Bay goes in motion out of the eye. They give it to McFadden left side, bangs it his own guy, but he falls in. Is he in the end zone with the ball? The Raiders say touchdown. He hit the goal line, then lost the football. All he has to do is puncture that goal line. It's a touchdown if he has the ball. Well, this will all be subject to review here. Mike Breisel lost his helmet. They are unpiling here. The Lions say they have the ball. Now, did they recover the ball in the end zone for a safety also as part of it? Strange play here. Did they hold on downs? They're acting like it.
Well, I hit him on the 1. It looked like he got across the goal line, but it's hard to tell from here. Oh, the ball came out, but it's across the goal line.
He's a runner, though. If he punctures that goal line with the ball, it's a touchdown.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether they didn't knock it out afterwards.
I thought he hit the goal line and then got hit and then fumbled the ball. This could be worth a challenge.
Well, we haven't seen a replay to even question the call.
We don't have a ruling yet. I assume the Lions have the ball. The referees have said nothing. McFadden took it up the middle, ran into his own guy, came off. I think he scored. He fumbled, but he was on the goal line. They may review that when we come back on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. And he's got one as well here. Does Darren McFadden extend the ball over the goal line before 94? Lawrence Jackson knocks the ball out. He'll cut back there. Watch 94 come down. McFadden extends the ball, and then it's knocked out. All he has to do is get that ball right up against the white. If it crosses the white before, it's a touchdown. He hit his own guy. Mike Breisel came off of it. Watch Lawrence Jackson. It's close. Is there enough to overturn it and give the Raiders a touchdown? I think he got it in, Jim. What do you think?
Well, I'm pretty hopeful that he got it in. It's hard to tell on that replay.
Remember, the call on the field is that he did not get it in. He runs into Brycell going off the right side, comes back left, and then he extends that right there, touchdown. His ball's in his hands.
Does he have possession there?
It's not. Jackson, I don't think, has hit it yet. Let's roll it. Then Jackson knocks it out there. That replay there on that still, I think, is enough visual evidence. Possibly he has the ball in his hands right there.
Yeah.
And watching it live time, I thought he scored and then the ball was poked out when he hit the goal line. I think that replay confirms that. But is there enough to overturn it?
I don't know. The defense is out there already. Detroit's offense is out there. They don't seem very hopeful.
Yeah, but Janikowski's out there too.
To kick the point after. So everybody's
out there.
All right, one thing you should do in the interim is, I think the referee is going to be in there for a while, is 1-800-RAIDERS and Raiders.com to get your Raider tickets for 2 weeks and 2 nights from today when they open the season. What do you think, JT? Touchdown Raiders or no?
Here comes the ref, Greg, and the key is the indecision by these replacement referees, how long it takes to make a decision. Everybody was looking on. Here's the call coming up right now.
It is Ken Roan, the replacement referee, who will make the call. Touchdown Raiders, Ken?
Looks that way.
The ruling on the field has been reversed.
Oh, touchdown.
The runner had control of the ball, reaching across the goal line before he was down by contact. Therefore, we have a touchdown.
We love these new referees, Tom. Don't we? Much better than the old guys.
I don't care how long they take.
We don't need Walt Coleman back. We like Ken Roan. Touchdown Raiders.
First touchdown.
Give me your touchdown Raiders call, Tom. I haven't had a good one yet.
Raiders.
Good one.
That's the first one of the year.
By the first team offense.
Yeah, by the first team offense.
And by Darren McFadden. Right. What a drive there for the Raiders. They had a couple of lengthy drives. First one they went 67 yards in 12 plays, did not score. This one 86 yards in 12 plays again, 6:35 off the clock. And the Raiders do score a touchdown. Janikowski banks through the extra point, and the Raiders have the lead at 7-3. So Darren McFadden, I think he's good to go for the opener against the San Diego Chargers. What a great home schedule for the Raiders this year, opening against the Chargers. Just the way the season ended a year ago on January the 1st, it'll open symbolically anew with the new era Raider football and the San Diego Chargers. 1-800-RAIDERS, Raiders.com to get your tickets all year. Raiders are going to play the AFC North this year, so Pittsburgh will come in. And later on, the Cleveland Browns as well in the NFC South. So that means the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the young quarterback Josh Freeman, and Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints will be in on November the 18th. Here's our Raider scoring drive summary brought to you by IBM. Working to help mid-sized businesses become the engines of a smarter planet. Learn more at IBM.com/engines. 86-yard drive, 12 plays. Raiders, this first-team offense coach, had a couple of lengthy drives today.
Yeah, the pass protection was good on every play. I don't think there was any that Carson Palmer was rushed. He was able to look at his primary and come back to the secondary receiver at least 2 or 3 times.
So Janikowski will kick off here from the 35, which is a certain touchback for Janikowski. We'll see if he does his blast one, or do they want to work on a coverage here of Justin Miller. Remember, Justin Miller was a Raider in 2008 and playing about half the year after the Jets cut him. The Raiders picked him up. He had 2 kickoff returns for scores. High lofted kick, but it will be returned by Miller, who catches it above his helmet at the goal line. 10-15, sneaks through 30. 40, Janikowski back, Miller by him down the sideline. Giordano has the angle to save the touchdown. But Justin Miller, a former Pro Bowl returning as a rookie with the New York Jets in 07, and in a great 08 with the Raiders, takes that one back 79 yards before Giordano shoves him out. 7-3, Raiders lead the Lions. 6:18 to go in the first half on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. 7-3. Neither coach is happy with the special teams, Tom, but at this stage of the preseason, you're still working on who's going to be on the coverage teams, but Justin Miller gets loose here for a 79-yard kickoff return.
And the bad part about that is in pursuit, Janikowski coming over might have damaged something because he pulled up as he was coming over to try to make the tackle.
It's on the trainer's table now, maybe getting a leg stretched out. Sean Hill will replace Matthew Stafford. He's going to roll out to his right, chased by Tommy Kelly, who will throw it away once he got outside of the tackle box. Let's watch Janikowski on the kickoff coverage after his kickoff, trying to run with Justin Miller. Miller goes by him, and looks like he pulled up. Jim, is that a hamstring there for the kicker?
That would seem to me to be a hamstring, yes. Janikowski's not used to running more than like 8 yards when he's kicking off or kicking field goals, so that was pretty much of a stretch for him.
So they'll stretch out that hammy, and hopefully he'll be okay to go. If not, Eddie Carmona can kick. 2nd and 10, Detroit on the Raider 21-yard line. 2-by-2 formation. They fake the inside handoff to Smith, throw it out to the big tight end. Brandon Pettigrew is wrapped up by Philip Wheeler and Tyvon Branch.
Getting back to Janikowski, I'm not sure they're working on the hamstring.
What are they working on?
Well, it might be working more. They're flexing on the maybe the groin area. I'm not sure. It's just hard to tell what it's saying.
All right.
Sean Hill's an 11-year veteran, adopted by Minnesota, went to San Francisco, and he's been with Detroit since 2010. Journeyman quarterback.
But a good one, a good backup. One of the better backups in football. 3rd and short, 2-by-2 formation, throws for the end zone. He overthrew Calvin Johnson, who feels like he got held there by Matt Giordano. And Shawntae Spencer on the coverage. He ran the back pylon right time, and Sean Hill overthrew him.
Yeah, they had a double on that time because Spencer was up on him tight, and then Giordano took over on the deep part of that route, and Calvin was complaining a little bit, but so far, Calvin, has he caught a pass?
He has not. No. That's the first time he's been targeted today, and the Raiders are doubling him, something they did not do nearly enough when he was here on December the 18th. Hansen from 30 yards out to make it a 7-6 game. Don Muhlbach will snap, then Graham will hold. And Jason Hansen, the 42-year-old kicker, the oldest kicker in the NFL, makes another. And the Lions have it down to 7-6 now. So with 5:24 to play in the half, a chance for Carson Palmer and the first-team offense to have another offensive series here before halftime. And the first-team offense, Tom, has looked very good. They've had a couple of lengthy drives. An 86-yard touchdown drive a moment ago after that earlier drive of 67 yards to open the game.
Yeah, they have, and the defense has played well too. I mean, the special teams put them in that position for the field goal, and they kept them out of the end zone once again, and then forced them to go for the field goal. So overall, it's been a pretty good performance. But special teams has been an issue for the first 3 games, and they've got to do something about that. They got to get it better. And there was a nice article today in the paper explaining that they got to get some better players on there rather than guys that aren't going to be around here.
And one of the things, though, that the Raiders have had problems with after making a big play, either offensively or defensively, they give a big play back to the opposing team, either on special teams or offensively. So they've got to concentrate and focus more on not letting the team back into the ballgame.
Darren McFadden looks good. I think he's ready for opening night, and you should be as well. Remember, all the 31 stadiums around the NFL, they are requiring a screening to come into the entry of the stadium at all points, a magnetic screening, a metal detector, similar to going to the airport. So make your plans to be at the Coliseum early on opening night. Kickoff to Tywan Jones, and he is hit and drilled again by Langford. That's the second time he showed up on special teams. Richard Langford with the pop there on Tywan Jones. In fact, the Raiders so want you to be in early that they are, look what they're offering here. Early in and you can win. If you are in the stadium an hour before kickoff on Monday night against the San Diego Chargers, and kickoff that night is at 7:30, you'll be eligible to win some cool prizes, field passes, locker room tours, memorabilia autographed by Hall of Famers, Raider legends, and current players, and the latest in Raider merchandise. So get here before 6:30, an hour before kick, and you'll get to win that on Monday night. Here's the toss sweep to Tywan Jones, cuts back inside, trying to get a block from Darius Haywood-Bay, and he did not there. That was Justin Miller, who played that well. The former Raider who had the kickoff return is now playing in the secondary for the Lions. I think McFadden may be done for the game after scoring his touchdown, so we'll get a long look at Tywan Jones as we check in with JT downstairs.
Greg, a sore left groin for Sebastian Janikowski. Sore left groin. We don't think we'll see him the rest of the game. Back to you.
Well, Tom was right. It was not a hammy. You can see the way they were stretching out his legs, but it's a groin injury, which is not a good injury 16 days before the opener for a left-footed kicker. Palmer back, time, throws middle, it's incomplete to Rod Streeter. He had to get that over the leaping linebacker, DeAndre Levy, and that forced just a bit of a wide throw by Carson.
Yeah, that would have been a big play if he got that ball up just a little higher, because he was man-to-man back there with one of the safeties with the Wendy.
Yeah, just an errant throw by Carson Palmer that time. Streeter had him beat.
Well, we want the fans to be here early on Monday night, September the 10th. I suggest Rod Streeter gets here early as well, because he's going to be involved. Even with the injuries to Ford and Moore, if they both come back, it's quite obvious the Raiders are game planning Rod Streeter to get involved tonight. Here's Palmer back setting up a screen, and it's intercepted by the defensive lineman, Willie Young. He tried to throw a middle screen. The spacing got messed up as he backpedaled, and he threw it right into the D line, and Willie Young, the right end, intercepted it.
Wow.
And a quarterback, especially an experienced one like Carson, those are the kinds of mistakes that you should normally not make.
Yeah, I agree.
Just throw it in the dirt.
Where was the screen going? To Hayward Bay? Was he coming back there?
I'm not sure where it was going, but
here's a better look at it. No, I think it was to Taiwan Jones, but he's being held. Actually, it should be a penalty on Detroit, but nonetheless, get rid of the ball.
Now, what Palmer's got to do there is throw the ball at the feet of Taiwan Jones and not get it so airborne where it could be intercepted. There's the inside handoff to Smith, the running back, turned back inside by Wheeler. Nice technique there to take the outside shoulder away as they run Kevin Smith, who's going to share these first half totes with Michael LeSure. Wheeler, that was textbook, guys, the way he took the outside shoulder away and forced him back in.
Yeah, that was. Defense has been challenged here by putting them, the special teams put them in with their backs to the goal line, and now the errant throw by Palmer put them with their backs to the goal line.
Philip Wheeler, his first 4 years in the NFL with the Indianapolis Colts, he looks like a find. He has been outstanding. Sean Hill flushed out, will throw it away again. That's twice Sean Hill's gotten pressure. Lamar Houston is thinking what I'm thinking. I'm not sure the quarterback got wide enough outside of the tackle box to avoid the grounding. He was reaching for his flag there. As Sean Hill, you got to get outside the width of the tight end, the so-called tackle box, Tom. I'm not sure he did there.
It didn't look like it. It just looked like he was retreating back, straight back, and found out he couldn't throw the ball anywhere, so he had to throw it away. I think you're right, Pop.
So much on these replacement officials. The NFL rule book is so thick and so many differences from college football. I think they missed one there. Third down and a goal from the 8. Hill throws, low, catch. And that's Calvin Johnson who went down low to scoop that one. And it's short of the goal line, though. It's going to be fourth down and goal from the 1 or 2 yard line.
Yeah, Calvin just coming underneath the tight ends going up the field. He's just coming on a delay, coming on a real shallow slant.
Lions are going to go for it, and they're going to quick snap the Raiders, it looks like, as Sean Hill gets him up on the line. It's a slot right. Burleson out, timeout will be called. As Sean Hill does not have the play in.
That time,
backup quarterback.
I think timeout was called by Jim Schwartz. He came running down the sideline.
So Sean Hill will come over to the sideline to talk to his head coach, and Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator, formerly the head coach of the St. Louis Rams. We invite you to stick around on both radio and TV at halftime at our radio and TV simulcast. On the television side, we're going to highlight the life and times of the great Big Ben Davidson, who lost his life in early July at the age of 72. One of the real characters of pro football, but also a heck of a football player, Tom, for the Raiders in the late 60s all the way through the early 70s.
Well, he was a great player, a great Raider, a great ambassador to the Raiders all over. More than that, just a great friend. I mean, there wasn't anything that you didn't ask him to do that he wouldn't do for you.
Two ways to look at him passing. You can't believe he died at age 72, and then you can't believe he lived to be 72, Jim, the way he lived.
Well, he was a little older than that, though. I think he was a little older than 72.
Yeah, he was?
Yeah.
Check the birth certificate.
Yeah.
We might have to, but as Tom mentioned, he was just a great team guy, fun to be around, very enjoyable personality, heck of a guy.
He was fun. He and Tom Keating had some great times driving those motorcycles. Fourth and goal, 1 yard line. Where's Calvin Johnson? He's outside right, watched by Bartell. A 2-by-2 formation, 2 left, 2 right. It is sailed to Calvin. Threw it behind him, incomplete. The Raiders goal line defense stands against Megatron. Philip Wheeler was there, and it was the original coverage there of Ron Bartell on Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, nice job. Nice. They were going on a quick hit, a little slant down underneath the. Was it Calvin they were going to? It's hard to tell.
Yes, they threw to Calvin, and he threw it behind him.
Yeah, he threw it behind him. There were a lot of black shirts there waiting for Calvin.
Actually, Bartell, they were playing zone there right up against the goal line, kind of the sticks defense on the goal line. Bartell let him go, and Tyvon Branch, the safety, stepped into the path there along with Wheeler as they were trying to go to the touchdown maker. Calvin Johnson, 16 touchdowns a year ago, but they went to him twice on third down short and on fourth down, and the Raiders held. So Palmer's interception does not hurt them, but they got to get out from the shadow of their goal line here. First and 10 from the 1. Palmer back into the black hole end zone, throws, hands catch by Streeter, and he's tackled immediately by Justin Miller. Now the Lions are going to try to get the ball back so they can score again before halftime, so it's incumbent on the offense, Tom, to make at least one first down. And that was a gain actually of 9 yards.
Yeah, that was a pretty good
all
gain.
the way out to the 11-yard line, so a good game there. Second down and 1. Tywan Jones, the tail of the eye behind Owen Schmidt. Osbury comes in motion. Right to left. They give it to Jones. Stretch run. Cuts back. First down Raiders. So there's your one first down. One more and you can run out the half.
But that was a great look at the zone blocking to the left side as Tywan read it perfectly. Cut right back. One cut up down the field. Perfect look at it.
Well, he's going to be a great zone runner, Tom, with his one-cut scheme, something they did for him in college at Eastern Washington University.
Well, when he makes his cut, he's a blur.
You got to keep McFadden healthy, but you also got to keep Tywan Jones healthy. We have not seen Mike Goodson yet tonight. Today, here's the handoff to Tywan. He almost fumbled the ball there as he got hit by the defensive front. He got popped there, and that ball almost popped out there. So the Raiders will face a 2nd and 8 when we come back here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Raiders on top of the Lions, 7-6 from the O.Co Coliseum. Hope you're enjoying this one on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. 5-star premium denim jeans, which are made with a unique U-shaped construction. They don't cut into you like jeans with a V pattern. Room where you need it, comfort where it counts. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. And they look comfortable inside the O.Co Coliseum on this Saturday late afternoon. Beautiful day. Football's fabulous females are here. Raiders will play their next home game for real in the regular season in 16 nights against the San Diego Chargers, September the 10th. 1-800-RAIDERS or Raiders.com to be a part of it all year. Palmer on 2nd and 8. Cox will throw left, and that throws incomplete to Brandon Myers. It was knocked away by the safety Eric Coleman, the former Jet and Falcon and second-year Lion. That was not going to gain a lot of yards, though.
No, that was going to gain 0 yards. He was the third receiver. Actually, they had 2 receivers down the field running inside routes, and they were both covered, and Carson just went back to their third choice on the left side.
Raiders so far tonight are 2 for 6 converting on third down. If they don't pick up this one, the Lions could get the ball back here and will before halftime. 3rd and 8 on their own 16-yard line. Tywan Jones to Carson Dwight in the gun. They're going to run Tywan. Inside handoff gets wide left. Breaks a tackle. Justin Miller runs for a Raider first down. Boy, is he quick as he scooted that edge out across the 25. First down, Raiders.
Yeah, they came on a blitz, but he was able. It was a draw, but he was able to get outside. They didn't hold containment. And Tywan up the middle, skirts to the outside. He outruns everybody for a first down.
Remember that third preseason game last year, Tom, against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football? Tywan Jones was just superb, and he is having a very impactful game tonight. His first in the preseason, trying to win the backup job to McFadden with his battle with Mike Goodson. Palmer throws out right. Catch. Tight end Myers. First down Raiders. Rolling out to the Raider 39-yard line. 2 nice back-to-back plays.
Yeah, the back-to-back plays. Still playing time on the clock. A little over a minute and a half.
Raiders have plenty of time. They have 3 timeouts remaining. 1:33 and rolling to play in the half. Palmer out of the gun. Looks left. Throws left. Falling down was Eddie McGee. Otherwise, he would have had a catch to midfield.
That's the second time he's fallen down, and you just can't let that happen as a wide receiver.
And it was not on the dirt baseball infield. It was on the grass right in the area in between the pitcher's mound and where the dirt infield is in. The receivers on both sides, Tom, were working on slowing down their cuts as they approached the dirt infield. But that time McGee had grass. He just slipped on the grass.
Yeah, he just slipped out. It was an out cut, and he went down, and he was on the ground. The ball was thrown on a timing, as a timing route, and he was on the ground.
2nd and 10, McGee jumping off sides. It'll be a flag on the coverage there. And it's just zoning out was Alfonso Smith. He was in press coverage. He just jumped across the line and pressed him before the ball was snapped. A blatant encroachment there, 5 yards on the Lions.
Well, that's one way to get your hands on a receiver.
Defense, neutral zone infraction. Number 27, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
He kicked off his tailgate a little early, you might say. You should kick off your tailgate on time with a smooth New Amsterdam gin cocktail. New Amsterdam, a proud sponsor of your Oakland Raiders, and please drink responsibly. Greg Papa, Tom Flores, Jim Plunkett, JT downstairs, and our radio and TV simulcast. Carson Palmer's moved his team well in this 2-minute drill. Palmer throwing out right. High, but a catch made by Eddie McGee. First down Raiders. He lost the ball. Are they saying it's a catch fumble?
Intercepted.
Picked up by the Lions out of the air by Stephen Tulloch, the linebacker. The ball did not hit the ground. Tulloch took it away from McGee. After McGee made the catch, he lost the football.
Yeah, he got caught. It looked like, I haven't seen the replay yet, but it looked like he got hit just as he was going up and catching the ball, and then the ball just popped up in the air.
Yep. He never quite had it as he went out and grabbed it away from his body, Jim. A nice hands catch, and then as he was being contacted by John Weddenling at the safety, the ball popped up in the air and went right to Tulloch.
Yeah, it was great effort on his part, and he just didn't have control of it enough that it was swiped out of his arms and into the linebacker's hands.
So it will go down as an interception. McGee is just irate that he lost that chance. 1st and 10. There's Sean Hill throwing left into coverage on Calvin Johnson. Good coverage there by Shawntae Spencer on the backside. As they move Calvin away from the coverage of Ron Bartell, put him over on the offensive left, and Shawntae Spencer was all over him there.
Yeah, just so far he hasn't been running a lot of what you would call impressive routes, because they've just called on him to run little slant routes. I think they only threw to him once down the field, and that was not very good.
But you've got to be impressed with the coverage of Shawntae Spencer and Ron Bartell. Hill down the middle, that ball's end over end like a Aussie rules football punt.
I think he got hit just as it was thrown, and it just kind of fluttered away on him.
Let's hope so. Incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down. But the coverage, Tom, we highlighted that at the beginning of the broadcast. Shawntae Spencer and Ron Bartell doing a great job. Calvin Johnson only has 1 catch as Sean Hill's pass was tipped right in the middle of the defensive front by Tommy Kelly.
There wasn't anything down the field anyway. Philip Wheeler was running with a tight end, and that's where the ball was going.
3rd and 10. Hill out of the gun. 4-man pressure. Throws too high. Incomplete. Scheffler's eye right feels that Philip Wheeler was grabbing him, but no flag. So right after the interception by Tulloch, the Raider defense gets the ball back post-haste. Philip Wheeler can really cover. He is tremendous in coverage. He may be the best Raider cover linebacker, Tom, since Thomas Howard.
That's the one thing, Greg, week in and week out that we didn't see last year. We didn't have that kind of coverage on the outside by the linebackers.
Here's the end-over-end punt by the Australian Ben Graham, Aussie Rules style, taken by McCann, 19, and he's down the sideline across the 25. Langford is having a tremendous special teams game for the Lions. That's Richard Langford, again with the escort service, out of bounds. 45-yard punt by Ben Graham and a 10-yard return by Brian McCann. So Palmer was running the 2-minute drill very well. He threw a good pass to Eddie McGee, and McGee just lost the ball up in the air for the INT. So Carson, Jim, gets to run the 2-minute drill all over again.
Yeah, if that's what they choose to do. They still got plenty of time, 57 seconds, certainly to get within field goal range, if not a score.
And Eddie McGee is not out there in the 3 wide receiver set, something he has been doing all this half, but he's replaced by Travion Session. Session goes wide left by himself, slot right, straight inside of Hayward Bay. Palmer back, throws, dropped. Brandon Myers was feeling the heat there from Justin Miller creeping up, was going to hit him. And Myers took his eye off the ball before he caught it, and he never did catch it.
Yeah, he just kind of knocked it down himself, it looked like.
So back-to-back drops. Eddie McGee had a catch and lost it up in the air for an interception, and now flat-out drop by Brandon Myers. Dennis Allen is surveying his tight end for right now, and it's wide open between Myers and Gordon and Osbury. 2nd and 10. Palmer back, throws middle. A juggle catch by Myers, but he almost dropped this one. Right into his hands. He juggled it once or twice, then reeled it in. And now a timeout will be called here with 45 seconds to go in the half. Timeout Raiders. So he dropped the last one. He almost dropped this one, guys, but he was able to reel it in after a bobble.
Well, I think that just shows some of his rustiness. He hasn't practiced in a couple of weeks, hasn't played a game, so it's his first, really game experience this preseason.
Yeah, things get a little livelier when you go in the game conditions as opposed to practice, and he didn't have there wasn't a lot of room to run, and even the pass before that he dropped, he wasn't going to go very far on that one, so they would have had to call a timeout there too. But now they got to get the first down. They got 3 yards to go, so they need the first down to keep the drive alive.
1-800-RAIDERS and Raiders.com to get your tickets. Again, opening night coming up in 2 weeks and 2 nights against the Chargers on September the 10th. And a reminder again, all NFL stadiums are required to screen all the fans entering. It's not just a Raider deal, but it's a league-wide directive, all 31 stadiums. So allocate extra time to come out on September the 10th. Here's Carson Palmer on 3rd and 3, and he hits his man Rod Streeter for a Raider first down. This guy is going to be a chain mover, Tom. It's obviously they're going to look to him on 3rd downs this year.
That was what Tom would call a rub that time, though. They're getting a lot of traffic in the way and trying to pick off the defender.
1st and 10 Raiders on the 40. Palmer throws high, and that's a nice catch by Brandon Myers. That was the toughest ball he's had all half as he extended out from his body to reel that one in at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, now he's getting in the swing of things now. He's into the action now. Three of the passes in this little drive here have gone to him.
Now, Greg Knapp likes to utilize the tight ends. In Houston, where he was the quarterback coach the last couple of years, they had Owen Daniels, a terrific pass catcher, and Joel Dreesen is the backup. The Raider tight ends last year, Jim, combined to catch just 47 passes. That total has got to go up because Greg Knapp, he'll throw the ball to the tight ends often in this zone-based scheme with all the boots and waggles off of the outside zone.
Yeah, as we talked to him, you'd like to get him to the tight end as much as possible. Most of the time they've got to be covered by a linebacker on the inside or a safety who's not quite as quick as some of those cornerbacks are. So, if you've got a good tight end who can get open, run after the catch, use them as much as you can.
Wide receivers are young, Coach, and the tight ends are real young. Brandon Myers, now in his 4th year, is the elder statesman of this youthful tight end corps.
Yeah, they're all in, and the elder statesman is Hayward Bay.
In the wide receiving corps.
Yeah, with 4 years.
2nd down and 4.
Going to his 4th year.
Well, Myers is 4-year guy as well. Palmer back on 2nd down, throws, catch, first down Raiders. Tywan Jones, shifty move. He lost the ball, he fumbled it, but it rolled out of bounds. So that's good. Did the ball roll out? Jim Schwartz wants the clock to keep rolling, and they are going to rule it that way. I wasn't sure if he fumbled the ball out. That would have stopped the clock. It forces the Raiders to call a timeout because the contact was made before he fumbled the ball. So 10 seconds to go in the half. Timeout Raiders. 1st and 10 of the Lion 49-yard line.
Well, that puts it in a situation here, Greg and Jim, where they've got a long way to go to try a field goal. They have no timeouts left. 10 seconds, and so the only way you can stop the clock is to get a short sideline route and get out of bounds. And it'll still be a long field goal. Janikowski's not there around to kick it.
There would be Eddie Carmona, and Carmona made a 53-yarder last week in Glendale, Arizona, made a 62-yarder in college at Harding, so he has a very strong leg. Janikowski with a left groin injury, and that lengthy kickoff return by former Raider Justin Miller, so he would not try this placement. It would be Carmona if there's one to try. Raiders out of timeouts. Lions are out of timeouts, so this is probably going to be a deep one to the end zone here.
Either deep one in the end zone or a somewhat long out route to catch the ball and step out of bounds. It's about all you can do in this situation.
Got to go to the sideline, though, with no timeouts left. Streeter slotted left. Outside is Session. Hayward Bay is right. Palmer back. They are going to go to the sideline. Myers out of bounds beautifully. Out on the Lion 41-yard line. The clock never started. It still says 10 seconds to go.
Well, we are at home, Papa.
Who's on the time
Get a
clock?
little bit of
Red
break
Auerbach, is he keeping the clock here? They do keep it on the field, obviously. Jim Schwartz is saying, wait a minute, that took longer than no time. They do have, well, it was 14 when the play started. That took just 4 seconds?
It was 13, I believe. But.
All right, so it's 10 now. So they do have time for even one more play. 2nd down and 3. Raiders on the Lion 42. Field goal from here to be 60 yards out. Catch Taiwan Jones. Hurdles up in the air and got spilled. Nice landing. He almost stuck the landing on the Lion sideline. He is taunting Jacob Lacey, the former Colt corner. They are going to bring Carmona in here. This will be a long one off the dirt baseball infield as Taiwan Jones can elevate.
A good effort on his part, though, to get the ball out of bounds, so at least give the Raiders the opportunity to kick the football.
This will be from the shortstop position, now manned by Stephen Drew, the new A's shortstop they traded for this week. This will be a 56-yarder from the dirt. Kondo will snap, Leckler will hold, left-footed kicker like Janikowski from the right hash mark from 56. Snap down, he has it away. Accuracy is there, and it is good! Wow! Eddie Carmona. A 53-yarder in Glendale was impressive, but that guy just nailed a 56-yarder off the dirt. Save his number, boys. You may need him.
Nice job by the offense, Carson Palmer and everybody in that 2-minute drill. That was very impressive to getting it down there with the amount of time they had left.
And he knew he made it when he hit the ball, didn't he, Jim? He had the swagger of a kick that went right through the uprights. Nicely done. Well, the Tollefson with a liftoff there for Eddie Carmona. They are chanting Eddie, Eddie here in Oakland. Feature on Ben Davidson coming up on TV on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. A little bit as the starter's going to come back after the halftime. We're back after halftime. Welcome back to the O.co Coliseum. Greg Papa with Jim Plunkett and Tom Flores. The Raiders coach had a couple of lengthy drives. The first one they missed a field goal. The second one, though, an 86-yard drive, and it started with a bomb over the top to Darius Hayward-Bay.
Yeah, they did a nice job. I mean, the ball was going a little short. Darius Bay came up and actually caught it with one hand, with the right hand. That was just a great throw.
And then Carson Palmer took him down to the goal line. And Palmer will try to run it out the left side here, Jim. It will not work. The better play is to turn and hand it off to number 20.
No, absolutely. That's a guy you can count on, number 20, get the ball in the end zone. As you mentioned during the game last year, 7 out of 9 times from inside the 5-yard line, he puts it in the end zone.
Taiwan Jones trying to be the job of the backup running back, too. Darren McFadden was able to help on that last drive, and here Eddie Carmona will nail a 56-yard field goal off the dirt baseball infield. If I do my math, Tom, 56 off dirt is like a 64-yarder off grass. I think that's the best kick in the history of the NFL.
It was not a very, it was a line driver. It was one of those knockdown hits that you hit on a windy golf course.
A knockdown 7-iron? Yeah. How about the numbers in the first half, Plunk? The Raiders 18 first downs to the Lions 5. And they outgained him 247 yards to 91. I wonder if the head coach will be happy with his team's play in the first half. Let's check in downstairs and find out with JT.
I'm with head coach Dennis Allen, first coach on the defensive side. Talk about that goal line stand at the end of the first half.
Well, I thought our defense did a great job of rising up. We've been put in a couple tough situations, adversity situations. Guys responded, did a nice job there getting off the field.
Talk about Carson Palmer leading the first team offense to a score.
Well, I think he did a nice job of moving the ball. He made one poor decision in the game, but really he's played extremely well. Did a nice job there at the end of the first half getting points on the board for us.
Good luck in the second half. Thank you, Coach. Greg, back to you.
All right, here's the kickoff by Eddie Carmona. And the return out across the 25 and diving out to around the 27-yard line is Ryan Broyles, one of the greatest wide receivers as far as the stat sheet in the history of college football, playing for Bob Stoops at Oklahoma. Sean Hill came in earlier than planned in that first half as Matthew Stafford guys got whacked late in the second quarter. He has a left hand injury, and that's why they went to Sean Hill after that lengthy kickoff return by Justin Miller. Stafford has to deal with a left hand injury, of course, being a right-handed quarterback, the same problem that Matt Leinart has. There's a handoff to Smith on the delay, and the Raiders playing their first team defense to start the second half, Coach, and they were very stout on that first run of the second half by Kevin Smith.
They were very stout. They played very good football, and the two situations where they were placed down in the red zone area, one right down on the goal line area, they did a wonderful job of just making Detroit go for the 3 points.
Raiders' first team defense is in, and they jumped off sides. It looked like Lamar Houston left early. They're going to play this play, and I think Lamar encroached. Let's see if the Lions false started before, but I think 99 jumped to the neutral zone first. We shall see. Now they're saying it may be against the Lions for an encroachment here, or for a false start. If Lamar jumped in the neutral zone because a Lion moved, it would be a false start on the Lions. Ken Rowan, our replacement referee tonight. Which way you going?
Defense, jump to the neutral zone at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
I think they got it right, Tom. I think Lamar did jump in.
A little anxious.
He's laughing. He's trying. He's telling the.
He will talk, won't he?
He's telling the official. No, he's trying to steal that call. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans if these replacement officials work into week 1 of the regular season, Jim.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
Got a lobby
I can
of
tell you
calls.
some stories.
Yeah, I got time. I got a whole second half here. 2nd and 4 for Sean Hale. He's going to audibilize at the line. Plenty of time on the play clock for the veteran. And he's going to hand off to Smith off the right side. The Raiders are there to stuff that again. Well, the Raiders really dominated the entire first half, Tom. We talked about the challenge of this first team defense up against Calvin Johnson and Matthew Stafford, and they held the Detroit Lions to 5 first downs in the first half and under 100 yards.
Yeah, that's impressive because, as I mentioned earlier in the game, this is a very veteran offensive line, and they've done some good things last year in their 10 wins.
Kevin Smith, who just can't stay healthy, has to literally hobble off the field. And he's the young guy they released before last year because he could not stay healthy. They did wind up bringing him back. Ron Bartell's played very tough. 3rd down and 4. Lions, they go into an empty set now. A 2-by-2 formation, including a tight end, tight left, Pettigrew. Here's Hill stepping up. He's going to run for it. First down, Lions. With Rolando McClain breathing down his back, he goes into a slide right at shortstop, but the cagey Sean Hill picks up a first down running for 8 on 3rd down and 4.
And he's one of the kind of guys that can run still after 11 years in the league. Turns it upfield, see there's nobody open down the field, picks up the first down right up the middle as he saw the defense spread out as they were being blocked.
First 4 years in the NFL as a Viking, 4 very good years, and with the Niners, who he was a part-time starter, won a lot of games. They give it to the back here, Keeland Williams, 3rd-year back out of LSU, who runs straight ahead. Tyvon Branch came up from strong safety to finally put down the big back, who goes 230 pounds.
Detroit going with a little real quick, almost calling their plays at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 8 for Sean Hill. Now he'll get up on the line and then call the play at the line as he's audibilizing. They get up there with plenty of time on the clock. Hand off to Keeland Williams coming left. And he'll push out to the 49-yard line, gains 3 more. That'll bring up a 3rd down. Lions went 10-6 a year ago, boys, into the playoffs. Of course, Green Bay in their NFC North went 15-1. This is a very good division with Chicago there as well.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's no doubt about it. And if it hadn't been for Green Bay and how strong they are, this Detroit team was right up there with them. They're a pretty good football team.
They made it as a wild card last year. Were knocked out of that wild card game to the New Orleans Saints, 45-28. 3rd and 2. Sean Hill back, throws middle, catch. First down, rolling into Raider territory is the veteran Nate Burleson, who began his career with the Vikings, 4 years in Seattle, and now a 4th year in Detroit. He's their slot guy, and they went to him on 3rd and 4 for 16.
Yeah, he's covered by Spencer on that one, and covered fairly well, but he had about a step on him and went up and caught the ball nicely and picked up a good first down.
This is ones versus ones. Even though Matthew Stafford is out, the Lions have their first team offensive line, and Keelan Williams coming left behind Backus. Cutback run, first down into Raider territory. Now, he had the first down, and then he may have gone wide to avoid it, but he picks up a good 9 yards before he is collared tackled by the tough tackling Ron Bartell.
Left side play, and he cuts all the way back to the right side of the offense, left side of the defense, and Bartell does a nice job in slowing him down and holding him until more help comes.
Ron Bartell is a terrific tackler, and he had to be to get the big Williams down. There's a throw out left. Taken away by Matt Giordano, interception. He took it right out of the hands of the tight end, Brandon Pettigrew. What a play by Giordano. Now a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Well, that was a tremendous theft there by Giordano.
I think the flag might be on the Raiders, too.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Roughing the passer.
Yeah.
15 yards.
Going to take away. So Giordano, it won't count on the preseason stat sheet, Jim, but the coaches will see this in film study. Allen not happy with the call on the roughing the quarterback, but what a play by Giordano to take it away from this hulking 265-pound tight end.
Oh, absolutely a tremendous play. Giordano was the leading interceptor for the Raiders last year with 5 INTs, and here he comes up with a tremendous play, just steals it right out of his hand and takes it up the field for a few yards.
He just ripped that ball, Coach, right out of his hands.
Yeah, and the thing, and on the penalty, it wasn't so much of the hit.
Another flag on the Raiders? Well, how's it half the distance from the goal?
I don't know. Inside.
It was inside the 30, maybe?
He said inside.
No, it's got to. It's got to be inside the 15 to call it half the distance from the goal.
I think the flag was on Tommy Kelly, I think, and it wasn't so much that the hit is that he hit him.
The ball was intercepted.
Because he hit him across the head.
Here's a handoff.
Williams, the ball carrier, hit immediately by number 99.
They run Lamar Houston. So Tommy Kelly goes over to the Raiders sideline. That's a tough break. Giordano came up with a great play, and they get the roughing the quarterback call. It was half the distance from the 27, which took it to the 13-yard line, 13.5-yard line. Here's Sean Hill rolling out right. He will dive headlong, did not slide feet first, as Rolando McClain again was chasing him down. This is one tough quarterback, Sean Hill, who holds all the Maryland weightlifting records for quarterbacks. He is a tough guy, and that'll bring up here a third down from the Raiders' 7-yard line, 6-yard line, 3rd and 2, Jim.
Well, Pop, you know how us quarterbacks like to lift weights.
I know you. I knew you were going there. I knew you were. You're very adept at the wrist curls.
Oh, yeah.
More I've been able to tote.
Got that right.
He's the best at it. Third down and 3 from the 7. Inside handoff of fake. Sean Hill will roll to his right. He'll throw for a touchdown to Brandon Pettigrew. Nicely done by Sean Hill. It was not always the smoothest, Coach, but he is effective. What a tough play that was. Faking the inside handoff. He rolled right. It was taken away for him to run, so we hit the tight end for a touchdown.
Yeah, well, once he got outside the pocket and he became a run threat, you have to respect it. Otherwise, if you continue to back off, then he's got a chance to run for the touchdown.
So Brandon Pettigrew caught 5 touchdowns a year ago, 83 total catches on the year, the 3rd most of any tight end, but he was fortunate. He had a catch literally taken out of his arms by Matt Giordano, but the Raiders roughed the quarterback, and it results in a touchdown as the PAT is made by Derek Dimke, who got a chance to kick that point after a young kicker, rookie free agent from Illinois. So Pettigrew gives the Lions the lead back, 13-10 Detroit on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. The Raiders left the Napa Valley Marriott. They've been there for 17 years, and this was 27 days, only 18 practice sessions with a new CBA, and Dennis Allen got a lot of good work done at his first training camp. So they're back home now in Alameda to get ready for the season, and they got a cut-down day coming up on Monday, Coach. They got to go from 90 down to 75, so 465 guys will be cut by the other 31 teams around the NFL. Short kickoff by David Dimke, taken by Mike Goodson, comes wide right, and he will not make it to the 10-yard line. And was tackled there by Nate Hughes.
Touchdown day is always a tough time. This one's not a very hard one. The first one's not a very hard one. It's the last one that's a tough one. They go, from 75 to 53 is that's a big cut, and a lot of happy guys that time. But 8 of those guys, or 8 guys, will be brought back for the practice squad.
Terrell Pryor is going to be the Raiders quarterback here. 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line. Hold on, Terrell. We got to pay the bills here on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. the plan was for the starters to come back and play after halftime into the third quarter, Tom, but the Raider offense ran 45 offensive plays
That's a lot.
in that first half, and Carson Palmer had 26 attempts, so they will go to Terrell Pryor. And he gets a handoff to Taiwan Jones, who sidesteps one, gets wide. Look at how quick he is. 15 down the sideline, 20. That may have been the greatest 10-yard run in the history of the NFL. What a run that was.
Yeah, it certainly was. Going to the right side, completely blocked up. A lot of penetration by Detroit. But Taiwan Jones was able to, with his quickness, to get back outside left and outrun the defense enough for a first down anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but he puts a nice move there on two.
But when he came back, Jim, I mean, he lowered his shoulder and leveled one of the defensive Spivey, I think it was, leveled him and put him on the ground.
Well, he's not just straight line fast. He is incredibly quick, and what a cut, a complete 360-degree spin as he started right last play and came left. He's going to love this zone blocking scheme. They run it to him here, Tom. Starting right, one cut downhill. This is what he ran at Eastern Washington University, and he has Darren McFadden type speed.
Yeah, and the theory on that stretch play and the zone blocking is that you make your read and then you make your cut and go. Don't give that backside a chance to close down and make the play from the backside.
Hard part about last year when Darren had the foot injury, Taiwan Jones had a hamstring and just could not play. Terrell Pryor throws one up, caught by Travion Session. First down Raiders down the sideline. Pryor got that over the reach of the coverage of Chris Houston, the corner, and Session was able to pluck it out of the air, go down the sideline for a 22-yard gain.
Well, I think that was one of the back shoulder throws by Terrell Pryor to Sessions out there. Back shoulder, he stops. Almost picked off, but good concentration by Sessions that time.
Yeah, Smith tried to go for, I think,
Alfonso Smith.
Yeah, he was going for the pick.
Yeah, it was Alfonso Smith on the coverage, not Chris Houston. They had a problem in their secondary last year. The one problem with this team, their secondary. Pryor coming back left, throws. It is dropped by Owen Schmidt. Big fullback trying to make that catch along the sideline. Tough catch for a fullback. He's a good flat catcher, but that was a more difficult type catch up the field, Jim.
Yeah, it was. And, it was a good decision by Pryor that time, looking to his right, see nobody there, throwing it underneath. But as I watched his footwork, he did not step into the throw. He was kind of falling back. So those are some of the things that Terrell Pryor, not being a drop-back passer, has to learn.
And he is the Raiders' backup quarterback tonight with Matt Leinart not playing. He has a cut on his right index finger. Matt is fine. If this was a regular season game and he was needed, he would play. Toss sweep, Taiwan Jones coming right, led by Owen Schmidt, and the Lions are all over that. They swarmed that toss sweep, and there was nothing there at all as Kevin Haslam tried to pull to get out the side. Tom, a fullback, and the Lions strung that out nicely.
Yeah, they went to they did that early in the game and got some pretty good, decent yardage, but they got all the blocks on the inside, but the Lions did a nice job of filling to the outside. The defensive backs came up and it just swarmed it.
Gunther Cunningham, the former head coach in Kansas City, longtime DC there, runs the Lions defense. He does not blitz as much as he used to in Kansas City with their great front. There's Terrell Pryor on third down out of the gun under pressure. But a roll out to his left. He can run for a first down. He does. Stutter move. He got hit and ran right through the would-be tackle there of Alfonso Smith. The quarterback just shed the tackler there. He is shy of the first down. It was fourth down and 12, and he was a third down and 12, and he picked up a few yards, but the Raiders will punt the ball.
Big guy. Big guy. You can tell right there how powerful he is. Poor Alfonso Smith, he got run over by Taiwan Jones earlier, and that time by the quarterback.
Raider offense was so good in the first half. Leckler only punted one time, and he went 41 yards and no return. It is Patrick Edwards who was back to return this kick, a rookie wide receiver. John Kondo will snap. Only Leckler's second punt of the preseason off the arthroscopic knee surgery. He will Aussie rules football this, something he's gotten great at, and he forces the fair catch on Edwards. That has been the revelation in Shane's career. Mid-career, learning that Aussie rule style from Darren Bennett has made him pro football's best punter, arguably, ever. 6.5 to go, third quarter. Raiders down 13-10 on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Home game, make sure to check out Raiderville, immensely popular pregame tailgate party. It is free to the general public. It's open early at 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 in parking lot B for a 1 o'clock kick. And Fans who visit Raiderville can watch every NFL game on 2 giant 9-foot LED screens. Visit the Bud Light Bar with a host of flat screen TVs and meet Raider legends and Raiderettes and football's fabulous females. So check out Raiderville, 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning on home games. Handoff to Williams coming left. DeMarcus Van Dyke will drop a shoulder and push him out as Keelan Williams gets about 5. DeMarcus Van Dyke has certainly played well up in Napa, Tom. He's had a tremendous training camp, hoping it translate on the field tonight here in this 3rd preseason game.
Yeah, so far the first earlier games, he's been picked on a little bit and not done as well as they had hoped. But he's played pretty good tonight.
2nd and 5 for Sean Hill and the Detroit Lions. We have 6:06 to play 3rd quarter. Lions lead 13-10. There's a handoff to Keelan Williams coming straight ahead, and the Raiders led by Desmond Bryant, who was Desmond started the game for Richard Seymour, and he was in on the tackle. I think that youngster could fit in Raiderville perfectly. Got the Carson Palmer jersey all ready to go. That number 3 is going to be a top seller at the Raider image stores. 3rd and 4. Lions on their 11-yard line. Mike Mitchell showing blitz. Here he comes. Tackle picks him up. Quick one. Catch made. First down, Detroit. Out across the 20. Out to around the 24-yard line is the catcher there. That is Ryan Broyles, who caught 349 footballs for Bob Stoops in Oklahoma, Jim, an all-time NCAA record.
And they put the ball up quite a bit at Oklahoma. They've got, I forget the quarterback's name, Landry, I believe,
yep,
who could really put the ball up extremely well.
And before that, it was Sam Bradford, the Heisman Trophy winner. And Broyles, even though he tore his ACL last November, was a high draft pick. There's a run off the left side to Joik Bell, who is now in out of Wayne State. It'll bring up a 2nd down and about 5 for the Detroit Lions.
Interesting story on that Stoops thing. When Bob went to Oklahoma, they said you're not going to be able to throw the ball very well here because of the weather, and it's Oklahoma. And he said, "Oh yeah, watch me."
And they threw it a lot to Broyles. 349 catches, most in NCAA history, over 4,500 yards, the 2nd most in NCAA history, as they give it to Joik Bell again off the left side, and the Raiders are able to play that well. So the Raiders have gone to their 2nd team defense now as well, even though Desmond Bryant continues on. Desmond started the game. He is in, and Miles Burris, the young linebacker, Tom, who started, he's still in there. Of course, he played for Dennis Allen and Jason Tarver into the 3rd quarter last week in Glendale. They want a good look at Burris. 3rd down and 6, Lions on their own 26-yard line. Sean Hill has 2 receivers right, and left is Maurice Stovall. Throwing over the middle and a drop. One-hand reach there by Keelan Williams. Harsh is a tough word, as Sean Hill got hit as he threw and got knocked down by the Raiders.
And that time, I think they did a good job of containing Hill, not let him outside of the pocket go for the run. He was about to try it, but here comes number 96 on the outside, preventing him from stepping outside and running for the first down. Good job by the Raider defense that time.
It is Christo Bilokidi, a rookie out of Georgia State, a tiny school, Tom. They like his pass rushing element from the D-tackle spot.
Yeah, he was I think he was 7th round draft choice. No, he wasn't. He was a 6th round draft choice.
There's a punt to McCann coming wide left. Now he's coming back the other way right. Flag down. The Raiders blocked in the back. McCann will roll out to around the 40-yard line, but it's going to come back here. And probably a block in the back. Once the returner spins around and goes back the other way, reversing field, it opens it up for a block in the back.
Yeah, it just throws all the angles off, and all of a sudden there's a guy facing you. Not facing you. He's faced the other way, and you're trying to help out, and bango, there you go.
So they'll get the number here on the illegal block. The Raider drive start will not be their 40. It'll be much closer to the goal line.
Illegal block in the back. Number 42 of the return team. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Aaron Henry is called for the illegal block in the back. He is a 4th-string safety. So that'll push the Raiders back a little bit when they take over with Terrell Pryor at quarterback. Raiders down 13-10, late 3rd quarter, 3:26 to go. 3rd quarter, 3:28 to go on the Raiders Broadcasting Network.
10 I spoke to Hall of Famer Willie Brown, who lit the fire tonight for the memory of Al Davis, and we're talking about a Hall of Famer, all the great achievements of Willie Brown's life. Greg, you should have seen how excited he was pointing towards it when he was at the sidelines. You know the great relationship that he had with Al Davis. Back to you.
Without question, JT, and that's an honor, Jim, that you had last year, huh?
Oh, yeah, it was certainly an honor for me to go up there and light that flame in honor of Mr. Davis, without question.
That was one of Al's favorite expressions. Terrell Pryor fumbles the snap from center and then kicked it a bit, but the Raiders do fall back on it. Now he is learning, Tom. He's making the tremendous conversion from a shotgun quarterback at Ohio State to an under center quarterback in the NFL, and he had a problem with the snap there.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, the center was pulling also as he snapped the ball. He was starting to pull at the same time, and that's how the ball got away from him.
Center now is Colin Miller, a first-year free agent center out of Central Michigan. Pryor, a draw handoff to Mike Goodson coming left, cuts back outside. Good run, powerful run there by Mike Goodson, who had to leave the game in Glendale early last week as he got a big hit, but that was a nice cut there to pick up a sizable gain of about 7 yards.
After the performance tonight with Taiwan Jones in his first showing of the preseason, Goodson probably said, I better get on it.
That's right. The competition's wide open. They are going to empty the backfield now. Goodson goes out as a wide receiver up on the line. He'll be picked up by a linebacker. So 5 on the line for Pryor, who is now audibleizing and making sure the Raider right offensive line picks up the left. They are going to blitz now. Amari Spivey comes. They run. Look at Pryor, tuck it and go. Boy, is he fast. 40. Midfield, he may score. 30 of the Lions, a block 20. Finally tripped up. And saving the touchdown was Justin Miller, the former Raider. He fumbled the ball, and they're going to say he's down on the 14-yard line. What a impressive run there by Terrell Pryor, one of the fastest quarterbacks you will see. Remember, he ran a 4.40, and look at this quarterback run, Jim.
Well, I tell you, it was man coverage. They came on the blitz. He got outside the blitzers, and everybody else was in man coverage following the receivers down the field, and he was able to take off. And nobody saw him until he was about 40 yards down the field.
Justin Miller saved the touchdown, getting him on the ankles. He did fumble, but the ground caused the fumble. Detroit will not review that. It was a 59-yard run by Terrell Pryor. Quick handoff to Goodson coming wide left, turned back inside by Everett Brown, the defensive end who made the tackle himself. Nice play there by Everett Brown, former Florida State star. Boy, that quarterback, 4.4 was the time he ran before Al Davis took him in the supplemental draft. And right here, Tom, that's a blur.
When he gets out in the open field, boy, I tell you, he turned on the jets. Wow.
I mean, that's running back, wide receiver, cornerback speed. These quarterbacks today are a whole different breed, whether it's Cam Newton or Michael Vick or Colin Kaepernick. What speed. Pryor, play action, stepping up, and he's going to get spun around, avoids a sack, and runs away from it again. And they'll tuck it and run. 10, 5, touchdown! Raiders! What a run by Terrell Pryor.
The young man can play. He can make plays. He's not a quarterback yet, Greg, but he can play.
He got out of the grasp of a would-be tackler, almost got him for the sack. He was able to spin away, turn up the right side, and take off for that touchdown.
Just amazing. It looked like he was sacked, Tom, as he went back. He just shed the hit of the linebacker. He got out to the right, and then there was nobody on the field can run with this guy now. Got a great block by Owen Schmidt to get him the pylon. Terrell Pryor at Ohio State ran for over 2,100 yards and 17 touchdowns. Just amazing. Now, all touchdowns are reviewed, of course, so they got to make sure that he punctured the goal line there. But just an impressive back-to-back running flurry, a 59-yarder, and then the 17-yarder for the touchdown.
And I tell you, you got to feel good for him. He struggled a lot. They might be calling it back.
Well, they did score. They called it a touchdown on the field, right? So all scoring plays. Do they already go through and review it? I didn't hear his mic come up. Are they saying he didn't score?
I don't know. He's coming over to review it. I think that's what he just
now.
said.
Yeah, but they review all scoring plays. Is that not clearly a touchdown?
Nobody touched him. I mean, he went in standing up.
all scoring plays are reviewed, and they have been since last year. And I think the announcement of the replacement referee, Ken Rowan, was just simply he was going to review it. He did not already review it and take it away. Good block by Owen Schmidt. Got him the corner. And did he lose the football before he hit the goal line? He was holding it very loosely. Actually, did he ever drop the ball?
No, he never did.
No, he dropped it after he passed the goal line.
And even if he bobbled it, it's not like a catch. He is a runner going into the goal line. It's different than catching the ball in the end zone. If he did bobble the ball momentarily, that doesn't matter. Did he have the ball when he hit the goal line? And I think that's pretty clear that he did. So they are reviewing it. So, I mean, every touchdown now and every turnover is going to be in suspense because they have to go and review every turnover in the NFL, or every one that's borderline, and every touchdown as well, to see if it actually stands. We'll take a little look at our TV side of our simulcast. Great block time there by Owen Schmidt out and saved the one guy that can save the touchdown, Ricardo Silva. He knocks off.
Yeah, he knocked it back into the end zone. And where Pryor made a mistake is the only question. Don't put that ball out there to start flagging it around. You make sure you're in the end zone before you put the ball away from him, take it away from him. But some of the calls like that one, I question whether you have to review that one. I mean, you should be able to see that one if you're an official. But rules are rules. Going to make the game a lot longer.
Well, not only is it being reviewed, it's being reviewed for a long time.
The ruling on the field stands.
Touchdown. So Terrell Pryor with his most impressive flurry as a professional. Again, this is only his third preseason game. The guy did not play for about 20 months after the Sugar Bowl, his final year at Ohio State. Those two runs were very impressive. What an athlete. Dennis Allen was gushing about him to me before the game. What a tremendous talent he is. And if he can figure out the mechanics of playing quarterback, he could be a great one. He has uncommon skills of any player, Tom, certainly of any quarterback. Cam Newton and Michael Vick and Terrell Pryor's in that company. Touchdown, Terrell Pryor. The Raiders have the lead back, 17-13 with 30 seconds to go, third quarter on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Back by Terrell Pryor. Those 77 yards on 5 plays. Pryor with a 17-yard touchdown run. Our scoring drive summary brought to you by IBM. IBM working to help mid-sized businesses become the engines of a smarter planet. Learn more at IBM.com/engine. So he did it all. I mean, had a 59-yard run followed by a 17-yard run. Eddie Carmona will kick off. The ball falls off the tee, so he'll re-tee it here. Raiders with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter have taken back the lead at 17-13. Carmona, strong leg as he proved on that 56-yard field goal off the dirt again in college at Harding. He made a 62-yarder. And this one will stay up for him, and he blasts away, and this will be taken by Hughes. It actually bounces by him, and that's a touchback. Very impressive kickoff. Can we go back and watch Terrell Pryor run again, boys?
Boy,
there's a touchdown.
Yeah,
there's the long run.
The long run.
Yeah.
That almost was a touchdown.
And it was Justin Miller who tripped him up where he would have scored. He lost the ball there. Here's the touchdown as he avoided a sack, Jim, by the blitzing linebacker.
Yeah, great effort on his part. If you've ever seen this guy in person, you know what just a stud he is. He's a big, tall, good-looking, strong guy you can easily see why he could break that tackle.
Al Davis, his final draft pick. He took him in the supplemental draft last August, giving up a future third-round pick this year. And he ran that 4.4 40. I figured let's give him a third. Here's a handoff up the middle to Joik Bell. And the Raiders back up defensive front, led by Travis Gaethels, now playing middle linebacker behind that D-line. Holds that down to little or no gain.
You got to feel good about Terrell Pryor. You know, he felt pretty down on himself the last two preseason games. Didn't feel he played very well. And, to come out and do what he did tonight, it makes him feel pretty good. I think a lot of people are supporting him as well. Shaun
Hill's not going to get a playoff here. That is the final play of the third quarter. Did you know that gout can attack silently, even between flares? Gout may also lead to long-term consequences. So talk to your doctor and go to goutinfo.com. Terrell Pryor with a gallop. The two of them back-to-back for a touchdown. 17-13 Raiders on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Line watching the second unit match up with Sean Hill and the Detroit Lions. It is the start of the fourth quarter. Score a touchdown with Geico. In just 15 minutes, you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO today for your free rate quote. Sean Hill and Matthew Stafford left a little early than usual due to a left hand injury. Bubble screen back to Broyles. Is that a hold or a block? That's a hold on the other receiver, Tolliver. Tolliver's going to be called for a hold, which will negate the short gain that Broyles had. Terrence Tolliver was pretty blatantly holding out in space there.
On the offense, number 82, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Yeah, we thought Terrell Pryor was fast. JT is next to a guy who was even faster.
Greg, you're
JT.
right. Napoleon Kaufman was very fast. Tell us about your new role with the Silver and Black.
Well, I'm excited. You know, I'm the team chaplain here, and I get a chance to serve these guys from a spiritual standpoint, they and their families. So it's just awesome. Happy to be back with the team, man.
What do you think of Darren McFadden when you watch this guy run?
I love him, man. He's a playmaker, very explosive, and he's just doing a great job out there, man. I'm just happy he's healthy and just having a great preseason. Looking for
Greg, he's got a higher calling. Back to you.
Napoleon Dynamite. I think he can still play. Suit him up. 26 can still run. There's an off-tackle run out of the shotgun. Flag comes in after the play was over here. So what do they got?
I think it was a late hit on number 35 for the Raiders.
Chimdi Chekwa?
Yep.
See if our referee agrees. Ken Rowan, our replacement ref.
Have a dead ball. Unnecessary roughness. Number 82 1.
Yep, it's on them.
After this is the goal line. Repeat, second down.
Same guy who had the penalty on him.
On the hold.
Yeah.
Terrence Tolliver.
Also on that last play, Miles Burris made a real nice tackle. Just filled the hole, made a great tackle. Got a little excited about it, jumped up and gave it a little big fist.
All right, so it's 2nd and 14. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, with a very quiet preseason game tonight. He was targeted only a couple of times, caught one ball for 7.
It should be third down, though, Pop.
It is third down and 22, James. Thank you. Sean Hill out of the shotgun as a slot formation left. Broyles, the slot receiver. Raiders are playing it loose, and now DVD comes up tighter. Iheanacho again pressuring. Hill will throw out left. Catch made by Wells, the tight end, and another flag is down in the offensive backfield. Austin Wells, the tight end on the check down. What's the flag for here?
Probably holding, I would assume.
On the Lions. Did they hold Iheanacho?
Was he in the end zone? I don't know. Maybe not.
If it's holding in the end zone, it's a safety.
They're going to turn it down anyway. Doesn't matter. They wouldn't force them to punt.
Right.
Holding. Number 71 in the offense. That penalty is declined. It's fourth down.
That's Riley Reif, their number 1 draft pick, their first-round pick, number 23 overall, out of Iowa.
Yeah, Iheanacho took an inside release on him, and he just grabbed a hold of him and took him down. It was a takedown.
Well, Iheanacho really heats up the quarterback. That's Riley Reif. He got around a first-round draft pick, and Iheanacho was undrafted a couple of years ago to the Chargers. Brian McCann is back to return this punt, and this will be the incumbent Ryan Donahue trying to reclaim his job in their punting battle with Ben Graham. He's got a stronger leg. He forces the fair catch there by McCann after only a 35-yard punt. So a good drive start for Terrell Pryor and the Raiders. When we come back, what do you got for us next, Terrell? This is the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Day off, some first and second year Raiders visited the Veterans Home of California in beautiful Yountville. The Silver and Black spent time with the veterans and shared some stories. Eddie Carmona there signing autographs. DeMarcus Van Dyke posing for pictures. A fun day for everyone involved, and another example of how the Raiders give back to the community, not only of the East Bay here in Alameda County and Contra Costa County, but up in the Napa Valley. Terrell Pryor, 1st and 10 Raiders on their 45. Manasseh Tonga, the lead blocking fullback, is in. He'll lead Mike Goodson. Good power run there, pushing the pack into Lion territory. Finally dropped him on the Lion 48-yard line. They've pushed that pile for about 7 yards.
They did. They got him moving downfield pretty good, and Manasseh Tonga was able to, lead block into that hole, and they just drove that defensive line back.
Looked like a scrum from the rugby field.
Pretty much.
I think the Lions are going to run their regular defense. I don't know where I got that from, but I think they're playing regular. The Raiders have outgained the Lions 374 yards to 184. This is a very good test and a most impressive performance. Goodson off the right side, first down Raiders. Off that outside zone, stay play side, picks up the first down. The Lions, a lot of people are picking this team as a trendy choice if they can shore up the back end of their secondary time to maybe win the NFC, to win the NFC Central over Green Bay. And the Raiders have really outplayed them tonight.
Well, the first, this is not, these guys here are not the guys that are going to be playing, but the Raiders' first team outplayed their first team, which was the impressive part. You're right.
They outgained them 247 to 91 yards in the first half. There's Pryor back, throwing middle into coverage, and it is intercepted there. A nice takeaway by Alfonso Smith. And he gets a block, cuts back inside, reversing his field. Flag is down. Amari Spivey will try to block Goodson, and now finally Alfonso Smith goes out of bounds. Terrell Pryor threw that into somewhat coverage, although there was a battle for the ball, and Alfonso Smith won the battle. Now what's the flag for? Is that strictly on the return, or is that before Pryor threw the ball? Our referee knows all.
Illegal hands to the face on the defense. 10-yard penalty.
Takes the. It was not on the return, so it nullifies the interception. The Raiders get the ball back.
Well,
Big break.
Lions can't do anything right now. Alfonso Smith is gasping right now. He ran about 100 yards to run the ball back about 30 or 40, but the ball was laid up a little bit too much, and I'm not sure what kind of a route it was supposed to be, but that was a poorly thrown ball.
I'll tell you what, Tom, the first play I'd go is to after Alfonso Smith right now, because he's one tired puppy.
Yep, I'd go deep.
He needs the oxygen. That was Travion Session who ran like a hook route, and Alfonso drove on that, intercepted it. Alfonso still playing, and he is matching up with Jerron Kreiner. So Plunk, if you're calling plays, you're running the 9 route here on 27?
I would. If it's not there, dump it off, but go after it.
Pryor's going to hand off to Mike Goodson.
Except they double covered on that side. So.
And safety help over the top of Amari Spivey. Short gain there by Goodson.
He
probably begged for that in the huddle. Please help me.
I remember when, I'm trying to think of who it was, but we ran so much man back in the day, they'd come back to Charlie Sumner and beg for zone.
I know, they were always signaling in the number 3 zone.
2nd and 10. Raiders on the Lion 40-yard line. Tonga, the lead blocker, and a true eye ahead of Mike Goodson. Pryor, great drop, pressure, going to throw one down. They're going after Smith here to Kreiner. Caught for a Raider touchdown. Kreiner took it away. They waited one play and they ran the 9 route, Jim. You called it.
And they had a penalty to boot. That was a great catch.
And this is what Kreiner was known for at Arizona. Inside that 20, 30-yard line, he's the guy to go to for the score. And he showed why.
Well, he's a pretty big target too, Jim.
Yeah, without question.
And they call PI on Alfonso Smith. So he had a rough time of it. He was all over Kreiner. He's just too big and strong at 6'3", 221 pounds. He rewrote all the records in Tucson, 209 catches, 2,859 yards, and 32 touchdowns. That was pure power to take that away.
A big, strong guy was able to go up and grab that football.
He's saying it's not all Rod Streeter. As far as rookie wide receivers, Rod was not drafted, and Duran was a 5th-round pick. Nice ball by Terrell Pryor, also, Tom, on the throw.
Yeah, he threw it up nicely and gave Pryor a chance to go up in the air and get it. In spite of Alfonso Smith hanging all over him, I think Alfonso Smith just needed the ride to the end, so he was tired.
So the one play off on the run to Goodson was not good enough. They came right back and ran the 9 route. Terrell Pryor will heave it as high and far as he can. Kreiner, you go up and take it away from the gassed corner. Touchdown, Raiders, 24-13 on the Raiders Broadcasting Network.
Is actually being able to maneuver for a guy my size. I'm good with tracking the deep balls, and I have a bit of a basketball ground history, so I would say I'm a very good red zone target.
Yeah, he is a touchdown maker, boys. His final 2 years in Tucson, he caught 22 touchdown passes, 11 each year. It was a powerful pluck there. 4-play drive, 55 yards, the 39-yarder to Jerron Kreiner is the touchdown. Here's the kickoff from Eddie Carmona. Kickoff, Yorkshire gave it a smooth New Amsterdam gin cocktail. New Amsterdam proud sponsor of the Oakland Raiders. Please drink responsibly. From the goal line, out on the return is Nate Hughes. Nathan Stupar, backup linebacker, a Raider rookie as well. 7th-round draft pick, made the tackle. So the Lions are going to their 3rd-string quarterback. It will be Kellen Moore, the Boise State star, will take over at quarterback when we come back. Raiders up 24-13, 11 and a half to go on the Raiders Broadcasting Network. 24-13. NFL.com. Fantasy football is as legit as fantasy gets. Enjoy free live scoring and instant video highlights. Go legit. Sign up for free at NFL.com/fantasy. Kellen Moore, the winningest quarterback in the history of college football, went 50-3 at Boise State. The left-hander is in. The Lions' 3rd-string quarterback. Straight drop. He will throw it out, cut right side, caught by Hughes, banged out by Chimdi Chekwa and Mike Mitchell on the 31-yard line. Not a real strong throwing arm, Kellen Moore, Tom, but man, he's a smart quarterback.
Yeah, smart, not very tall. In fact, you know, these guys are so big nowadays. He's listed at 6 foot, which he looks like he's about 5'5" out there with these guys. They're huge. But I tell you, the kid was a great player in college.
50-3, Jim.
Yeah, 142 touchdown passes. Had a great career, over 14,000 plus yards, total offense and passing.
Throws an outcut here, incomplete as the receiver Hughes, and he lobbies for the call. They'll get the most belated call there. I think they're going to call DeMarcus Van Dyke for a pass interference, but that was 4 seconds late.
But you know, that's happened a lot lately with the substitute referees. You know, a lot of the flags are coming in extremely late. They're trying to make up their mind, decide on exactly what the call was and if I should call it or not, or if they should call it.
Well, this lockout of the NFL officials, Dennis Allen, he may not be arguing the call, but just the tardiness of the call makes it look like the official changed his mind.
Holding on the defense. Number 23. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Not a pass interference. It's a hold on DVD, and then I'll give him an automatic first down. He did grab him and hold him, Tom, but it's the late. Well, you know what? The official was trying to get his flag out. I think we see him reaching for it. I think it's just he couldn't find it or he couldn't get it out. And that's why it looks so late.
Yeah, it was definitely holding, and it was miscommunication too, because the receiver went inside and the ball was thrown outside.
1st and 10. Lance Long, the former Chief, goes in motion. They give it to him on the end around. There's a block and not a flag on Edwards for a hold as he blocked effectively and apparently legally. Chimdi Chekwa. Remember, the NFL season starts, as Brandon Underwood came up to be a part of the tackle. It starts a week from Wednesday when the New York Giants play the Dallas Cowboys. So they got to figure out a way to end this lockout time and get the officials in.
Well, I don't see any way the officials will be there for the first opener. I think even the commissioner said that. They're hoping that maybe they'll be there for the second game, the second week.
2nd and 2. Moore throws to Lance Long. Catch spin down the sideline, bumped out by DVD. First down, Detroit. At midfield, Lance Long, a former Kansas City Chief. In fact, in 2007, he caught 20 passes for the Chiefs. Kellen Moore, wondering what round would he go in the NFL draft, which is now 7 rounds long, and he was not drafted.
You know, and I think that all had to do with his physical height and strength of arm.
Yeah, the arm is not there. You can see him warming up, trying to throw through the wind. He does not have a Matthew Stafford arm or even a Sean Hill. Here's the inside handoff to Detroit Bell. And he picks up about 4. A little push, post-play pushing and shoving between Chimdi Chekwa and the wide receiver Dante Hughes. Jamie Cumbie on the tackle for the Raiders. First-year free agent lineman from Clemson who missed last week with a foot injury but is back this week. Tough day coming up on Monday, Coach. They got to trim 15 off this roster. They got to go from 90 to 75, which is not a big deal. But then after the Seattle game coming up on Thursday, They got to go from 75 to 53.
Yeah, that'll be the big one. That'll be a tough one.
Here's Kellen Moore, almost intercepted. It went right through the hands of the cornerback, Pat Lee, the nickelback and a new father, the former Green Bay Packer. He got inside there, Jim, and dropped a pick.
He did, but their defenders pick up that ball at the last possible second, as they're guarding the receiver, and sometimes you just can't pick it up quite quick enough.
Boy, he played it well. What did Bell have, and what did Michael Huff have?
He had a baby girl.
Girl, huh?
Madeline Ray Huff, 6 pounds and 2 ounces. You didn't get a box of cigars from Michael?
Not yet. He's probably holding them for me.
I think he smoked them all. 3rd down and 7. Kellen Moore out of the shotgun, under pressure, spins around. He's no Terrell Pryor. He gets sacked by Jamie Cumbie. Nice push from the Raider backup defensive line there to sack Kellen Moore and force the Lion punt.
You mentioned the cut down this Monday. Everybody's fighting for their job, playing as hard as they can, trying to make this team, or at least be seen by other coaches around the league.
Well, you got to think about these guys are playing hard right now. All the guys that are in the ball game, because they want to make this first cut. The next cut, if they get cut, they get a chance to be on the practice squad.
Ryan Donahue hit that as high as the rim of the stadium. And it will roll inside the 10, it'll roll to around the 8-yard line. An official threw his hat off, so somebody stepped out of bounds, but apparently no flag at all involved. So Raiders have one more preseason game coming up on Thursday in Seattle at Quest Field, and it all begins for real on Monday Night Football, September the 10th against the San Diego Chargers. The early season schedule, Tom, will be challenging before that bye week comes up in early October. It's home for San Diego, at Miami. Always tough to go there so early in the year with that suffocating heat and humidity. Then you got Roethlisberger and the Steelers coming in before you go see Peyton in Denver. Second half of the year, a great defense in Baltimore, the great offense of New Orleans. Going to be a very challenging schedule. Here's Pryor handing off to Goodson off the left side, and he'll pick up only a yard. Let's take a look at the rest of the Raider second half schedule. We'll go to Cincinnati right after Thanksgiving, Cleveland, Denver in. So you got 3 in a row there in December at home, and then you wind it up at Carolina, and great symmetry. The season starts with the Chargers at home, and it ends at San Diego on December the 3rd.
Yeah, a lot of travel this year, Greg. A lot of long trips. Wow.
You're not going to sit right behind me and kick me the whole way.
I hope we get. Do we get mileage on that?
See, Plunk moved ahead of us on the Charger. How do you lobby for that? 2nd down handoff to Mike Goodson. Will back his way forward for a couple more. And the Raiders are going to travel more than any team in football this year, Jim. And I just say, thank goodness for Hawaiian Airlines.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go 28,692 miles this year.
Wow.
All the teams on the West Coast. Is there a common denominator there?
I ask again, do we get mileage? do we get credit for those miles?
You are America's guest anyway, Coach. Do you really?
Absolutely.
Do you really need it? Now that you're a member of the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame, and congratulations to you on that as well. Here's Terrell Pryor back. And a lob one to Kreiner, who dropped it. He's the one who caught the touchdown down the field on Alphonso Smith. Pryor laid that one in, Jim, and Kreiner just dropped it.
Yeah, Kreiner should have caught that, turned up the field, and would have gotten the first down easily.
Nice touch and good mechanics in the pocket.
Are we seeing Terrell Pryor get better and better before our eyes here with the footwork and delivering the football and the mechanics of the huddle? He's getting better, Coach.
Yeah, he is. When he does the mechanics right, like that one, the mechanics were right. The ball was perfectly thrown. Nice touch, the whole thing.
Here's Shane Leckler from the goal line, punting it to Edwards high. Boy, what a punt, a fumble. He muffed it right out of the air. That punt was up so high, and the wind is beginning to swirl a little bit. Leckler hit that 48 yards, but it was up well over 4 seconds. He said he was rusty this week on the practice field. I think he's gotten the swing of it again, like riding a bike. Behind Terrell Pryor, the Raiders lead 24-13 on the Raiders Broadcasting Network.
I'm with the Swarco Raiders from Austria. Your name?
My name is Florian Greim.
My name is Mario Rina.
You wrapped up your 17-year career as a running back. Now you're a coach. What was the experience like with the Raiders?
It was really awesome. We had a really good time. We went to Napa and was visiting their camp, and now we're here watching the game on the sideline. It's awesome. It's really cool.
Greg, they want to know if you've ever been to Innsbruck, Austria. Back to you.
Touchdown, Swarco. Thanks. I'm working on that, JT. Kellen Moore, little bubble screen there to Edwards. And Jack Crawford got down the field to make the tackle for the Raiders, along with Christo Bilokiti. A couple of guys who are certainly like the guys that JT just talked to from Austria, from other lands. Christo is from Angola, and Jack Crawford was born in London. Kellen Moore, that ball got tipped or came out of his hand, Jim, a little sideways.
Yeah, it certainly does. If he's going to throw it sideways, it's going to be a lot shorter than his 6-foot stature goes.
This the helicopter play?
You got to put it up a little bit higher, though.
I think Cumbie hit him. Kellen Moore, only 6 feet tall. That's the wrap on him. And Jamie Cumbie makes it tough time. He's a big lineman at 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, he'll have problems just standing in the pocket, in a regular pocket, trying to throw the ball down the field.
I said that about Drew Brees as well at 6 feet. Here's Moore back. He does not have Brees' arm, though. Throws middle, and that'll be a first down on the coverage there of Chimdi Chekwa. We were talking about the Raiders truly are the world's team. Eddie Carmona's from Monterey. Jack is from London, born in London, England, moved to New Jersey as a high school sophomore to actually play basketball. Christo, born in Angola, also spent some time in France, Brazil, and Canada before attending college. Georgia State in the United States. Ed Wang, his parents were 1984 Chinese Olympians competing at the 84 Olympic Games in L.A. Al Saunders also born, like Jack Crawford, coach in London, England. Yeah. Jack, we didn't see him but before he got injured. He had a foot injury, but he's a big guy with some athleticism. They got it again. The smallest quarterback getting picked on by Jamie Cumbie, who was having a tremendous second half here. He's made some plays.
Well, Jamie Cumbie is one of those 6'6", 297-pound defensive linemen. Pretty active, too. I mean, he's all over the field, and all the reports coming out of Napa was that he was having a decent camp for a free agent.
Well, after Seymour Kelly and Desmond Bryant as your backup at D tackle, the Raiders are looking for a fourth guy, and it could be Cumbie. Here's Kellen Moore, almost intercepted by Pat Lee, as Moore overshot the slot receiver Jared Dillard down the field, and Pat Lee broke on that ball. That's two that he's kind of tried to backhand, Jim, that he's not been able to reel in.
Yeah, but one thing I like about Kellen Moore is that, he makes his decision and he fires the football. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, he's got to make better decisions and better choices, but his mechanics are good. He gets the ball out there, but, he just has trouble seeing over the lineman.
The Lions released their fourth-string quarterback this week, R.J. Archer, to make room for Kasim Osgood, the former Chargers special team star more recently in Jacksonville. So if they keep three, Moore should be the guy. Backpedaling, and then he threw it away. And there was a back close enough to avoid the grounding there as Kellen Moore was backpedaling, and then threw in the vicinity of Stephon Green.
Yeah, that was going to be a screen pass to the right, but the Raiders read it well, and the pass rush was in his face, and they all stood up. And must have looked like like Mount Olympia in front of him.
Jamie Cumbie, it's Mount Cumbie.
Mount Cumbie.
Well,
That's a new one.
He had a good series, didn't he? Here's the punt again from Ryan Donahue, who was the Lions punter last year before he got hurt, and they brought in Ben Graham. Fair catch called for by McCann. Ball will land. Take a Raider roll. 20 rolling the other way. The Lions are letting it roll. They don't realize it's going the wrong way.
Well, number 97 was letting it roll. Number 19 picked it up.
Was that Jim Marshall, Tom?
I don't know, but these guys, these guys are so young. It's not really funny because they're fighting for position, but they're young. They, defensive linemen, they don't know the rules.
They should know the rules.
They got all turned around. One of the greatest defensive linemen in pro football history, Jim Marshall, the Vikings, picked up a fumble at Candlestick years ago and ran the wrong way for a safety for the other team.
Was it a Candlestick or was it at Kezar? I can't remember.
Maybe it was Kezar. You're right, Jim. I'm too young to remember that. You were there.
I'm not.
You were there watching the game. Here's Terrell Pryor going to run the boot out right. Throws back middle. Open Kreiner. Flag! He's got it! And he's gone! Flag is down, but Kreiner's in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders! Will it stand?
Yeah, that's got to be a penalty on the defensive back for grabbing a hold of Kreiner as he was running that deep cross.
And what a play by Terrell Pryor.
Well, we know he can do that. He can throw on the run because that's what he did in college.
This offense really suits his skills, Jim, as he faked the stretch going to the left, came back on a boot right, and on the run threw a deep middle shot to Kreiner.
He threw it.
It will stand.
Touchdown.
And he threw it perfectly. You know, give the credit to Terrell Pryor on that well-executed play. Good fake, got outside, read the field, looked down there, and saw Kreiner coming across the face of the defender and put it right on the money. What a great play by Terrell Pryor and a great catch right there. Tapped his feet, and Kreiner takes it in.
He's better when he gets out on the perimeter, Tom, when he has the dual threat of a run and throw, but he throws more accurately when he's out on the move.
Well, that was a great example of the stretch play, you know, that wide stretch play, because the defensive end on the weak side came right down the line of scrimmage trying to make a tackle.
Slant down.
And so that's how he got outside. That's how Pryor got outside the pass rush.
It is 30-13. Here's the PAT by Carmona. This second half has been the Terrell Pryor show. 2 touchdowns to Jerron Kreiner. Terrell Pryor has thrown for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nice catch there by Kreiner, catching the bottom of the ball. But Pryor, after his tremendous long run and the touchdown run, he was excited. He got the run down the field. Well, think about how much he has come in 2 preseason games, Tom. He was rough that first one out against Dallas. He has been superb tonight.
Yeah, he has been. This is a real booster for his confidence. You know, as Jim mentioned when we were off the air a little while ago, he's not really a quarterback yet, and he's not. But he works, and his attitude, Jim has been there more than I have, is really good. He's working hard to become a quarterback, and the young man can play, and he keeps working like that. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah, they say his work ethic is tremendous. He spends a lot of time there in the classroom and on the field, getting stronger, faster, learning all he can learn, soaking up all the information he can soak up, and he wants to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Well, not a bad ratio there. He's completed 3 balls for 137 yards and a couple of touchdowns. He's also run for a touchdown, and he has 81 yards rushing, so 137 passing, 81 yards running. And he had some real personal setbacks right before training camp. He lost his mentor, a businessman in Columbus, where he grew up, actually Jeanette, Pennsylvania. He went to Columbus to play, and then 6 days after that, he lost his father. So he lost a mentor of his, an older man, and then he lost his dad less than a week later, and he was able to overcome that, did not miss any time in camp, as Nate Hughes runs this kickoff back at Carmona out across the 30-yard line. It was a tough time for him when the Raiders were going to training camp. His father was having his funeral. But he stayed in Napa. He knew he had to soak it all in, and he has gotten appreciably better, Tom, in a short period of time.
Yes, he has, and it's a great example of what hard work and dedication and purpose will do for a young man. This guy's got a lot of quality.
1st and 10, Lions on the 31-yard line, their own 31 with Kellen Moore at quarterback. There's Moore looking right, left-handed throws, open, Lance Long, first down. Out to midfield, pushed out there by Curtis Taylor, the secondary safety for the Raiders.
And they're going to go to a no huddle, I guess, even though the clock has stopped.
5:17 to play in the game. The clock does start back up just inside of 5 in the game. If the guy goes out of bounds, it'll stop and not restart, but it will outside of 5 minutes. There's a draw. Kellen Moore gave it to Stephon Green, who broke a 76-yard touchdown run against the Ravens last Friday night. And say hello to Miles Burris.
Yeah, Miles
what a tackle.
He's made a couple of nice tackles like that tonight. Filling from the weak side, nice square tackle. He's a good square tackler.
You know, at San Diego State, Town, they ran a 3-3-5. He played everywhere as Moore is off the page with Lance Long and threw over his helmet incomplete. And they're not sure what they have in Burris. He's playing right now the weak side linebacker, but he's also playing middle. He could play everywhere. I mean, has he declared where his strength is yet, or no?
Well, I don't know. I think his strength might be the weak side backer, but you got to be able to play them all probably, and Gaethel is also playing the middle, and he can play outside too. Right now, they're both of them there.
Yeah, he and Gaethel are playing together inside. Gaethel now moving more outside on third down. Kellen Moore will fire into coverage, broken up beautifully by Mike Mitchell. Mike Mitchell drove on the route there of the intended receiver, Patrick Edwards. Mike has improved in space, Jim, immensely. Always been a tough hitter, but he drove on that route to break it up there.
It looks like they're going to go for it on fourth down right now.
Nice play by Mitchell to arrive at the same time as the receiver, not get there early to be called for a PI.
No, good job by Mike. There's no doubt about that.
This is a new Mike.
You like the new Mike?
A year ago, he would have gotten the PI.
4th down and 7 for Kellen Moore with 4.5 to play out of the shotgun. 4-man pressure. Jack Crawford hits him, throws, catch, first down. Lance Long got grabbed around the neck and head by Curtis Taylor. But a first down there as Kellen Moore delivers on time, the former Boise State star. 4 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the game. Raiders up comfortably, 31-13. Going to likely get Dennis Allen, even though it's a preseason game. This third one's the most meaningful. His first win as a coach in the NFL. Out to the sideline, a rolling catch there by Alex Gottlieb, a 4th-string tight end. And the Lions trying to run this 2-minute drill with about 5 or 6 minutes to go in the game, now down to 4 minutes. Travis Gaethel, if he can stay healthy, can be a solid contributor in this defense, although he has had injuries his first 2 years. 2nd and 5 for the Lions on the Raider 30-yard line. Kellen Moore out of a shotgun, slot left. Edwards singled up right. He's going to Edwards on Shekwa, flag down. Shekwa bumped him apparently. And it probably will not be a PI. It'll be a holding call on Shekwa. The official threw the flag before the ball was even in the air, very close to it being in the air.
Illegal, hands to the face. Number 35 of the defense. 5 yards, automatic first down.
Call it on Shekwa, first down at Lions on the Raider 25-yard line. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans are made with a unique U-shaped construction. They don't cut into you like jeans with a V pattern. Room where you need it, comfort where it counts. Wrangler, real comfortable jeans. Greg Papa, Tom Flores, Jim Plunkett upstairs, JT downstairs, and our radio and TV simulcast. One more to go Thursday in Seattle. There's Moore throwing middle, a juggling catch by Green to back, wrapped up by Miles Burris, who angrily throws him down on the field. Nice tackle there by Miles Burris, looking fabulous on that play. Football's fabulous females are coming back, of course. We have seen them entertain his first 2 preseason games as Moore throws the outcut. Catch made by Lance Long. He's chased for the bounce by Pat Lee on the Raider 10-yard line.
No, but I bet you this group of defenders don't get a lot of chance at practicing this 2-minute drill at practice. It usually goes the first and second units, and these guys, a little bit new to it. Getting caught a little bit flat-footed, I think.
This is a 1st and goal for the Lions on the Raider 10-yard line. Tommy Kelly over on the Raiders sideline. Richard Seymour did not play tonight. He was certainly been able to go off with the regular season game. Crossing route dropped there by the back, out of the backfield. Stephon Green. Yes, they do have 2 43s if you're paying close attention at home. Justin Miller on defense and Stephon Green on offense. Was I talking about the Raiderettes earlier? I believe I was, and they're there. The 2013 Raiderette calendar is now on sale at all Raider image stores, or just go to Raiders.com. This 16-month calendar, because 12 would not be enough for the Raiderette. 16-month calendar is a great gift for that Raider fan in your life. Get yours today. Here's a throw and a catch and a touchdown for the Lions right on the goal line to Alex Gottlieb. As Kellen Moore ran him right down the field quickly, and I think he wants a 2-point conversion here. Or they're going to bring the kicker out.
Well, it was a nice job by Kellen Moore. I mean, he's got a lot of poise in the pocket. You can tell that he's just played a lot of football and obviously a lot of great winning football, and probably done it all. The 2-minute drill, any kind of drill you want, he's done it all.
He's the winningest quarterback in the history of college football.
Yeah.
Amazing accomplishment. He went 50-3. He's saying, we're not going to go for 2? Well, we did that after every touchdown. Here's the point after is made there by Derek Dimke to make it 31-20. Well, the second half stars, I think you've got certainly Terrell Pryor is a star, and Jerron Kreiner would be the other star. 2 very different catches. Jump ball here. He takes away from Alphonso Smith, and then out in space on the stretch left, roll right. He makes a tremendous block of a ball in the middle of the field.
Tremendous job by Kreiner there on both plays. Not only is Rod Streeter having a great rookie preseason, so is Kreiner.
For Kreiner, 2 catches on those 2 plays for 115 yards and 2 touchdowns, and on both plays, there was a penalty on Alphonso Smith. So not only did he catch 2 touchdowns, Tom, he was being interfered with on both.
Yeah, and these 2 young rookies it's a good thing that they have stepped up in preseason, because they're going to have to be counted on during the regular season. Right now, with Denarius Moore not being able to play much or at all in that opener, and right now Jacoby Ford is doubtful for that opener too. So these young guys have stepped up in preseason. They're going to have to continue right through the season.
I was talking to Dennis Allen before the game. He is hopeful that Denarius Moore will make opening night. In fact, there's a possibility Moore may even play Thursday in Seattle, as that hamstring injury is everybody's up for the Raiders here. They're going to push it over the top. DeAndre Muhammad could have let that go out of bounds, but he was scared because it's a live ball. He did the right thing.
Yep.
It looked like it would have rolled out of bounds. It would have gone to the 40-yard line. Actually, the 45 with the new 35-yard, but he decided to grab it and go take it out. Kind of a live grenade there. But Jacoby Ford may make opening night. I think he's a little behind Denarius Moore, but they're hopeful Moore will make opening night against San Diego. Dennis Allen, who coaches the entire football team, not happy with the Raiders, how the Raiders handled that pooch kick there, and he's letting special teams coordinator Steve Hoffman know about it. 1st and 10 on the Raider 12-yard line. Hand off to Lanye Miller, his first carry tonight after getting 15 carries in each of the first 2 preseason games. We can tell by the coach reaction, Tom, there's no doubt who was the head coach of this football team.
Yeah,
they all have input, but Dennis Allen is the head coach, and he is in charge.
He's all over the place, and as a head coach should be. You got to know, you got to be aware of what's going on and why was a decision made like that. And he's probably questioned the same thing you did. Why didn't you let it go out of bounds? But it was a judgment call. Was it going to go out of bounds in time before the defense? It was before the recovery team got there.
He may have been wondering why Muhammad was back by himself. Here's a keeper by Terrell Pryor coming out the left side this time. They run the stretch coming to the right, and he keeps it left. And that looked like a designed run there. Yep. He was not looking to throw, Jim. He just was going to kind of a quarterback sweep going the other way off the boot action.
Oh, it certainly was a design run all the way. It was the fake run to the right, the bootlegged around the outside. The defense wants the ball back. They're selling out all the way, and there was no backside support by that defensive end.
Yeah, they didn't even have a receiver out on a pass route, so that was you're right. That was run all the way.
1st and 10, Raiders on their own 25 with 2:40 to play in the game. Pryor handoff to Lanye Miller coming left. Big back will pick up a yard or 2. But Terrell Pryor has got to be really happy with his performance tonight. He was not happy with the game against Dallas and played better against Arizona, but still not up to his standards. But well, he has looked really good tonight.
They don't even have to run a play here unless Detroit calls a timeout. They can let it go all the way down to the 2 minutes.
That's perfect, Tom, because that gives me time. We've reached the 2-minute warning to get prepared for anything to happen. Celebrate football's biggest moments with Crown Royal. But please drink responsibly. Terrell Pryor will keep him in that huddle, and that'll take us to the 2-minute warning here. 2 minutes to play in the game. The Raiders appear on their way. Raiders 31 and the Lions 20 with exactly 2 minutes to go. And Dennis Allen will have his first win on the NFL sidelines. This is the Raiders Broadcasting Network. Tom Flores, the 2-time Super Bowl winning head coach of the Raiders, inducted this offseason into the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame this past March. And there's Tom with Barb and Flunk with Jerry. How was his speech, Jim? He do a good job?
He did a wonderful job.
I hear you were pretty good as well.
I was. No, I'm just kidding. You know, it's not hard. It's not hard to introduce Coach Flores of all the accomplishments he's had here in the Bay Area. Not hard at all.
Give me the 20-second Cliff Notes on what you said when you brought him up.
Oh, speaking of Cliff, no, I'm not going to.
Cliff Branch, you're going deep to Branch again.
We had a good time. It was a lot of fun. I think I've gone to so many of those over the years. I think it was the most enjoyable Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame dinner I've ever attended.
Yeah, it was a fun dinner, and I was told that for the first time in many years, everybody stayed till the very end. I mean, it was quite a night, and then Jim and I decided to stay even beyond the end.
Oh. No, it's a great accomplishment to get in the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. We're waiting for the day you guys both make Canton. Jim is the only retired multiple Super Bowl winning quarterbacks not in the Hall, and Tom also a two-time Super Bowl winner. Say hi to Kyle Newhall Caballero out of Gilbert, Arizona. He will quarterback the Raiders here. We'll let him throw the ball, just a couple of handoffs. Lonnie Miller on the stretch run right. Greg Knapp wanted to get him in last week in Arizona when the Raiders went to his hometown. It is a cutdown day in the NFL coming up on Monday, Tom, so who knows?
Yep.
He may be one of the 15 that get released on Monday, so a nice moment for him to get into an NFL game.
And it's nice that Coach Allen puts him in the game, because this is a thrill of a lifetime. He had very little chance of making this team, but he got the experience of training camp, and now he's getting the experience of playing in an actual game, and who knows what can happen.
Well, he may have to put it up, Jim, because the Lions just called timeout.
Yeah, which I don't see why they did do that, but
that's Jim Schwartz over there.
Yeah, I guess, but they should have let the clock run out. There's one more preseason game, and to get ready for the NFL season, I think these guys have had enough tonight.
If he's going to call one coach, he's going to call them all, right? He wants the ball back.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, maybe he's trying to take it out on the Harbowl with us.
They are going to play the Niners, by the way, coming up in Week 3. They come back to the Bay Area to play over at Candlestick in what will be known as the Handshake Bowl. Now it's second down here, and they've got 2 more timeouts to utilize. Newhall Caballero hands off to Lonnie Miller off the left side, breaks the tackle, comes back inside. And he's shy of the first down, and Jim Schwartz is going to call the timeout here.
Well, it is fourth down coming up.
Now it is fourth down, yeah.
Timeout. 30-second timeout.
So he will force the punt. Crowd not happy. They're sensing what's going on here. And usually at this stage, although they're working on something here, so he wants to get the ball back. And although he has Kellen Moore in the game, there's something he wants to look at. One of the things they have to decide is, even though they released the 4th quarterback, Archer, this week, do they keep 3? It's conceivable they could just keep 2 quarterbacks on the roster and keep Stafford, who also got hurt a little bit today. There's a left-hand injury with Stafford, and then Sean Hill. So they got to figure out if they want to even keep 3 this year, Tom.
Yeah, that's true. But I would not. I would never go with just 2. I don't think I would ever go with just 2. You got to have, in today's marketplace with 53 guys on your roster, you should have 3. Especially with your quarterback who has had injury past.
And he got whacked. You see the wrap on his left hand. He got hurt on his left hand. His left leg gets one more punt. And a fair catch called for by Edwards on the 25-yard line. So we'll see what Jim Schwartz wanted to do on calling these 2 timeouts to force the punt. He wants the ball back with 1:41 to go to run a little more of Kellen Moore. He's also going to leave Riley Reef out there. Matthew Stafford had a tremendous season last year. Raiders over 500 yards of offense. Wow, 518 yards of offense to 212 against one of the best offenses in football. Matthew Stafford last year over 5,000 yards passing and 41 touchdowns. One of the greatest quarterbacking years you'll ever see. Moore back, throws. Cumbie again, intercepted. Bill O'Keefe, I think, got it before it hit the ground. So Jamie Cumbie took the game over here, almost spying, it looks like, Kellen Moore, Tom, right in the middle there. I think he blocked 3 of his passes. This one he blocked up in the air, and it was intercepted.
Yeah. I think that's one of those things, and I was going to mention it, I didn't, but sometimes these things come to bite you when you're calling timeout when it's you probably should be running the clock out.
Cumbie with the block. Bill O'Keefe will dive in there. Nice hands by Bill O'Keefe to intercept it. Now, is there any way the Raiders go for the end zone here, Tom?
Absolutely. Let's go. Go for it.
After he called 2 timeouts,
right.
are you going for the end zone here?
Go for it. Or if you don't get in the end zone, call a timeout and kick a field goal.
You would do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I can't tell.
Look what
you
they're
Hall
doing.
of Famer, you.
This is what I would do right here.
They're going to take the victory play.
Absolutely.
Is Coach Schwartz going to call a timeout after this play? No, I don't think so. So that'll be it. The Raiders and Dennis Allen will get his first victory as a head coach in the National Football League. And the more you're around this guy, Tom, the more you are immensely impressed. I know about the detail and the focus, but this guy, he just acts like he's done this before. He is so well thought out and well prepared. I think this is going to be one of the best game managing head coaches the Raiders have had in many, many years.
Very calm in how he does it. I'm sure the insides are going up and down, but he's calm and very well poised with his team, and they will reflect his personality in time.
All right, so a kneel down there. Congratulations to Dennis Allen. Big night for Terrell Pryor. Well, you look on this game, Tom, and Jim and Carson Palmer, the first team offense played really well in the first half. The injury to Leinart opened it up for Terrell Pryor to do some amazing things in the second half.
Yeah, it certainly did. He got a chance to show what he could actually do out there. He was disappointed in his first 2 performances of the preseason, but he's certainly shown tonight.
So one more preseason game to go on Thursday in Seattle, and it all begins for real 2 weeks in 2 days from tonight. 7:30 kick. Get here early, though. Everybody has to go through the metal detectors to get here against San Diego, so get here an hour early and get those Raider image gifts, those cool gifts. Jim Schwartz and Dennis Allen meet at midfield. Congratulations to Coach Allen, Tom. I remember your first victory was against Tom Landry, wasn't it, in the preseason?
Yeah, that was quite a thrill. That was back in the All-Star, in the Hall of Fame game. Remember that, Blunt?
I was there.
Yeah.
I even got in the game. My God.
Absolutely. Well, I felt
always
sorry
said
for
you guys are Hall of Famers, one way or the other. All right, Coach and I are going on radio for a final thought. JT will bring it home over on the TV side. No Megatron tonight. He didn't do a whole lot. The Raiders held him down, and they beat the Lions 31-20. Hope you had fun tonight. We did. We'll talk to you Thursday on the Raiders Broadcasting Network.